Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you, brother.
Uh-oh.
Upgrade, yo.
It is.
Two triple headers.
Look at this full house.
2 triple headers. This many games. Hey, lighting is everything. That's rule number 3. Rule number 3, lighting.
Dude, what? Wait, what? Panama City. Yes, sir. I didn't work in a sports program. I was a sports program, man. At 22 years old, I had my own show. Hey, hey, listen, I lasted longer than Chevy Chase. All right.
Oh, he's got a point. There you go.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go.
Come on. Do it.
No balls.
Gosh.
No balls. He's Nathan's the frog blender level 1. No balls.
Yeah, you are a little quiet there, Mr. Nathan.
Everyone else is at a normal level, and it sounds like you're a church mouse.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Maybe it's like the gain on
He's
your
got
monitor.
other similarities.
Turn it up. Yeah, I'm over here trying to turn my spirit. I'm like, how in the oh yeah.
Okay, so
well, everybody
Chris,
else was just
speak
like
up.
going along. Like you were asking people, like you asked Ryan if he was a weatherman, and like the conversation just kept going, and I was like, maybe it's me. Like I don't know. That's a weird glitch, but
It's not the equipment, it's the operator.
Hey,
Facts.
hey, listen, I hang my hat on that. All right.
Don't blame it on the bat, kid. You just can't hit.
Listen, I hang my hat on that. Hey, listen, I'm an Irishman. Hung like an elevator button, baby.
Hey, listen, I may not be as cool as some of you guys with headphones, but how is my sound here in the Rock and Roll
You're
Woods?
good.
You sound amazing.
You sound great.
11 in Tennessee. So
I've been earloaded once.
that's okay. Nathan actually taught me how to say that.
can you teach me how to talk next?
Seems like I'm going to have to go get some whiskey to deal with.
Is that a lot of money? That's going to charge you probably, I'm sure. You can't do it pro bono. You can't do it pro bono.
You got
Hey,
my
Chris.
attention, Chris. What you got? You got my attention.
Oh, he got it. Oh,
I'm gonna
didn't say a
peel back
word.
the. I want to like push the curtain back or peel the curtain back and reveal that last week directly after the show I miscounted and said Nathan could catch me if like the Bengals beat the Steelers or the Ravens and like the Texans beat the Titans, which almost did happen, but there was like, he picked a bunch of wild games last week. And then I went back and recounted on Sunday and I was wrong. And I was like, oh no, he can't catch me. He can only catch Chris Land. And Nathan, I couldn't tell if there was legitimate disappointment or not, but he was like, how's that possible? How's it possible that he was wrong? And then Josh was like, you just miscounted, buddy. You're eating the chip. Just accept it.
Nathan's picking stuff out of his butt. I'm so far behind. I got to pick.
He had to. Listen, it was at the point. It was at the point in the season where it was like he either starts picking the Jets to win every week, which he probably would have had more success with.
I know.
I was about to say, ironically enough, he started off picking the Jets in that game. He didn't wait for us to all pick the Patriots and then take the Jets. He kicked the game off by saying the Jets over the Pats.
Nathan went way out on a limb. He's like, I'll take the Bengals to pick the Steelers. Y'all probably all laughed at him, right?
We did laugh.
But here's what Nathan. Here's what Nathan and I both understand. The Pittsburgh Steelers are still coached by Mike Tomlin, the second most overrated coach in the NFL.
Oh, that's
Ryan,
a hot take.
I'm with you. Ryan, I'm with you on that.
Who's number one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy. That's easy. It's John Gruden. He's
Really?
the most overrated coach in the NFL.
Oh, coming in high.
You guys know.
Chris Land, what do you have to say about
Chris
that?
Land feels personally attacked.
Oh, look at
Go
that.
ahead.
But all I can just tell you, it seems like he's the only one smart enough to come up with a game plan to beat the Chiefs until somebody.
Oh God, he's
hello.
still on the Chiefs from week
not only did they
3.
beat him, they had him on the ropes twice. Everybody else plays catch up. He's the only guy
He's
that knows how to
losing
play.
bad
it.
teams,
Hang on.
just like
Time
Mike
out.
Tomlin.
The
Banana look good.
Chargers were a last-second field goal away from beating the Chiefs. If we
You
want to go
are-
way
They did
back,
not
And they
realize
got
that.
They got stupid ass Anthony Lynn for their coach. I mean, it does.
they got a guy that
Hey, in the
punctures their
Chargers
own
game-
quarterback's lungs.
Hey,
Herbert,
that Herbert game, it was also they didn't know Herbert was going to start until 30 seconds before the national.
They knew
anthem.
Teddy Bridgewater was starting, and Teddy B put up a pretty good showing against them too.
Listen,
Look,
we're
Nobody
getting off
other than
track.
John Gruden has a
We're
W.
getting off track.
against The,
Look,
Nathan
we're right
is
on
eating
track.
The
Time
chip.
out. Time out. The reason I say that about Tomlin and Gruden, they're the same guy. The only difference is the color of their skin. I'm gonna throw that out there now. But
Hey, Chris, I
John
got this
Gruden.
for you. Does beating the Chiefs get you into the playoffs?
Doesn't get you a damn thing.
Look,
It doesn't get you a
John
damn
Gruden
thing.
won a Super Bowl once.
Oh, here
John
comes
Gruden
the
won a
Florida
Super Bowl
take.
with somebody else's players, and so did Mike Tomlin. Outside of that, neither one of us ever accomplished anything else.
Wow.
Period.
Hey, Chris, you can't be mad at the guy because he's dogging on his own coach. He's just also dogging on yours.
Hey, listen, he
Hey,
is
you
dogging
know
on Tomlin.
what?
That's
Hey,
true.
when
That's
your
true,
team
Nathan.
doesn't make the playoffs,
I
you got to
speak
eat
the
a little
truth.
crow every now and then.
Somebody tell me I'm
You know?
wrong. Somebody tell me I'm
Hey.
wrong.
I mean, he's building something.
I think-
my main complaint with the Raiders over the last 3 years is they've had prime draft picks and taken the wrong guy.
You better hope he doesn't build the Raiders like he built Tampa Bay.
So I got a question
I
for you,
know,
Ryan.
With like
So-
several Hall of Famers, that'd be awesome if they could get some Warren Saps and some Derek Brooks. type
Ryan,
players.
I have
That
a
wasn't
question.
John Gruden. That was Tony Dungy.
That was
get it,
Dungy all the way. That
I
was
get
Dungy
that,
all the way.
But in the day of free agent, bad coach come in, they roll out of town. Those guys did not leave him.
Listen,
So,
Ryan.
if you
So
want-
in the league right now, there's 32 head coaches. Where would you put your Steelers, Mike Tomlin, in that list? Because I'll give you the
No.
he's-
Actually, there are 28 head coaches
Well,
right
yeah.
now in the NFL.
Yeah, correct,
Yes.
correct. Because the people,
Yes.
some people were fired. Correct.
I mean, I'd have to. Yeah, Josh, that's a great question. I think I'd have to look at the entire list, but I can tell you he's not in my top 15.
Oh
That's
goodness.
that's
Really?
He
ridiculous.
would
Wow.
not be in my top.
No,
Now, see, listen,
Ryan, I got to
I-
disagree, dude. Ryan,
I'll
dude,
listen,
I,
he
I
makes the
put
playoffs
him
every
just
damn
outside
year.
the top 10.
Okay, well, hold on.
I-
Okay, all right. So this is the constant thing I hear from these Pittsburgh-based sports reporters like Mike DeCourcy. He goes, "A, he makes the playoffs every year." No, he doesn't.
Pretty
B,
much.
he's never had a losing season. Well, of course he hasn't. He's got Ben Roethlisberger as a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's got Kevin Colbert as a general manager. That Steelers team is loaded. They've got 5 All-Pro guys. They got Marquise Pouncey. They got David DeCastro on the offense. They got Ben
Pouncey's
Roethlisberger.
never healthy.
You're loaded with talent. Hell, I could coach that team to 9 wins. It doesn't take anything. I mean, you
love
look
it.
at the defense. The defense is loaded too. It's like making Nick Saban coach of the year. Oh my God, he did a miracle job. Well, of course he did. He's rolling out 75-star All-Americans at Alabama.
Well,
Well, it takes
that's
a
a
bit-
little
oh,
that's a little
He
different.
recruits
That's a little
those guys,
different.
so he
That's
gets
a little
those
different
Ws.
because he recruits them. He's good at recruiting, so that's
so
something
Yeah.
he's
he's
good at.
built it.
Well,
He's
him
built,
in the
he's
bag,
built that.
but-
Oh Lord,
Look,
here we go.
it's Nick Saban in the bag man. But look, Kevin Colbert stocks that team with talent every single year. I mean, think about it. Think about it this way. Okay, the 2021 draft is coming up, right? The Steelers have a first-round pick. What's the most glaring need? Anybody? Crickets.
The Steelers.
Anybody?
The
Yeah.
Steelers.
The Steelers.
I'm gonna say
They
I'm
need
gonna
a
say
running
gonna
back.
say-
offensive
I'm
line.
I'm
They
gonna
need a
say
running back, really.
I'm gonna say a
They got
quarterback because
Pouncey.
Big
I mean,
Ben.
come on.
Okay, so look, but this is my point. One of you said running back, one said line of scrimmage. Like, there's not a glaring need for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, they need a quarterback to take over when Ben Roethlisberger's done, but that team is loaded. Mike Tomlin he can mail it in and jack off on the sidelines. Nobody cares.
Not
He's loaded with talent.
Ben
So
did that
that's
already.
true.
Ben,
I love
Ben,
that.
Jesus.
I
I think Ben
love
did that.
Yeah, Big Ben has been
Roethlisberger
He's already done that.
But this,
Yeah,
but
Ben
this
has
is,
already done that, I think.
but this is why I think Mike Tomlin's overrated. Yeah, he's never had a losing season. Of course he has. He got Kevin Colbert and the Rooney family.
Yeah.
So he's loaded with talent every year. It's a rock stable franchise, and he just rolls out there. They win 11 in a row, and then they just fall. They go into a tank because they can't make adjustments, and it's terrible. And now they're playing the Browns in the wild card round. They shouldn't be in the wild card round.
Ryan, I want to ask you a question.
Can I say one thing before you ask Jordan?
Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
They did beat Nathan's prediction for the Super Bowl champion Indianapolis Colts. Like, they did show up in that game.
Yeah.
Like, they did lay down a while.
That's the first
They
game
laid
they've
down for a
played.
little bit.
That's the first game they've played in 10 to 12 weeks that they looked
If-
like a
listen,
12 and 14.
I'll say it. If that Steelers team shows up that showed up against the Colts, they'll be in the AFC Championship game.
I don't
If
want
that
to
team
pass-
shows up. If that team shows up. If
If
they
the
play like they did
second half-
against the Bengals.
If the second half team shows up, that first half team was shit. And it took them until the third quarter to figure out, hey, you know what? Maybe we should throw the ball down the field. Maybe that will work.
Listen, if Mike Zimmer would have realized that earlier in the season, we would have had a lot more wins too. But that's,
Let's
candies and
roll it
nuts.
back.
Hang on.
Yeah,
So here's my
yeah,
no,
question.
let
Balls
Jordan-
should be your uncle.
Jordan,
Since Ryan
Jordan was going
is
to ask Ryan a
crushing his
question.
own team, I want a moment to crush the Titans.
Okay, but
You
real
know what
quick,
the Titans,
QB, real
what
quick.
is the Titans' biggest need?
Okay, not running back.
Secondary.
Not
Pass
running back.
rush. It's blatantly a pass
Yeah,
rush, and it's
pass
not
rush.
even close.
No.
Yeah, Jadeveon hasn't
It's a
done nothing.
defensive coordinator. We need a defensive coordinator.
Fair.
Well, next
Hey,
time you
Marvin
pick one up in the
Lewis.
draft, let me know. But
So does Dallas.
Right.
Hey, Ryan, so I want to know, you're talking about overrated head coaches, and we could easily sit here for the next hour and go through a list of coaches and rank them with you, and I think it could be fun. But I want to know who your one or two most underrated coaches in the league is, guys who aren't getting enough credit. Because a guy that jumps to mind for me would be I don't know, probably
Kevin
Joe
Stefanski.
Judge.
I say Kevin
Stefanski, I think, has had a really good year, but I think he's getting a lot of credit. I think
guys
people
are
are ready to
high.
carry him through the streets of Cleveland,
Ron
and take him
Rivera.
down
But
to
not this
witness the
week.
dumpster fire.
Ron Rivera.
I think Rivera and Joe Judge are two guys that come to mind. But who's
I don't put Joe Judge in that. I put Ron Rivera in there because the dude is just, he's battling cancer. He kicked his quarterback out of the building, and he still took a team to the playoff. Doesn't even have a nickname, for crying out loud. The second guy, I'll tell you the guy that I really like, and he's had a little bit of an up and down year, but I think in the long run, when he finally gets when everything comes together to be like, holy shit, this guy's good, it's Mike Vrabel.
yeah.
I'm a big
I totally agree.
Mike Vrabel guy. I really am. I actually have met Mike Vrabel, and he is as intense in person as you'd think he would be.
He's a man's man.
But not in an intimidating way. He's just a very intense guy. He's very serious the way he carries himself. But he's also freaking enormous. You don't realize how big he is because he was never the biggest guy on the field. But in a room full of people who didn't play linebacker in the NFL, he's enormous. He is enormous.
It's funny you say that, Nathan. He's a huge dude. It's funny you say that. You don't realize how big these dudes are until you stand next to one. These motherfuckers. Sorry, family friendly show. These dudes are massive guys.
Yeah, and Mike Vrabel wasn't playing linebacker in today's NFL, where linebackers are starting to get smaller and faster. He was one of the old school ones his job was to motor people that came through the middle of the field.
So as
That's
a
fun.
head coach, me being from here in Nashville, where the Tennessee Titans will be playing Sunday at noon at Nissan Stadium, hosting a home game, thank goodness. But I will tell you this. He's got to let go of the defensive coordinator. He's got to hire one. it has showed this
I'll give
year.
him Todd
The
Grantham.
defense.
Can I
I mean,
finish?
how did we get to 11? How did we get to 11-5 with this defense? Our secondary is
As your
horrible.
running back.
You have a
drags the
running
clock
back.
for you.
Well,
You
yeah,
have a running back
I
that
know
goes too
that,
fast.
Correct.
But how did
Correct.
we beat anybody? You know, we're letting up. We can't get off the field on third down. Listen.
Hey, I'm a Florida Gator fan. I know how you feel.
Hey, Hubie, you know, the
I will
Tennessee
pay
Titans
for the truck
defense.
to move Todd Grantham to Nashville.
Murph.
I'll pay that. I'll
Hey,
pay.
Jordan, what were you saying?
The Titans defense reminds me a lot of the Vikings defense, and I think it's because they're both kind of bad defenses. And I think the secondary gets exposed when you just can't get any type of pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks have all days to sit back there and pick defenses apart. And the Vikings secondary looked awful this year, but you also look. I mean, Yannick Ngakoue led the Vikings in sacks this year, and we traded him at week 6. Like,
Yes,
it was a
insane.
bad pass rush. So whenever you just can't get that pressure, I say all the time on my show, Load the Box, you can't cover for 8 seconds. it's impossible.
No,
And
it's-
when you,
Especially
So,
if you're going against teams like the Steelers and the Chiefs and the Browns who just loaded it.
But the Steelers have an
Yes.
overrated coach. They should be fired.
that-
now.
that signing of Davian Clowney really
5
worked
years
out
ago.
well for us.
Yeah. So I will say this. And then we're gonna actually jump into what we had planned here. But I like this. See, we have a lot less games to pick, so we can rabbit hole a little bit, and that's why we've got such a great group here tonight.
Let's go.
My thing is this, right? We've seen in college the head coach is really, really important for many reasons that have nothing to do with calling plays, right? Recruiting. Being able to holding a college locker room, I think, is infinitely more difficult because it's hurting cats, and there's a bunch of they're kids, right? They're
kids.
18, 19, 20, 21. They're children. They're not professionals yet.
Hey, the NFL is kids' money.
Well, yeah, to an extent. But the thing about it is that there are other grown men on the team that have grown up that can ring these rookies in line. In college, everybody's got a rookie mindset, except for maybe that 6-year senior or like Chris Winkie, right? But here's the thing about coaches in the NFL. A guy like Tomlin can win and still be not great. And I agree with Ryan. He is overrated, not because I hate the Steelers, but because Tomlin has just come in and taken the reins from Bill Cowher, and he didn't screw it up, and Cowher set him up to win a ring.
No, he royally screwed it up.
Well, but he could have messed it up a lot worse.
It
wasn't a dumpster fire. It wasn't a dumpster fire.
They still contend, right?
Okay, well, hold on, wait. Okay, let's.
You gotta let me finish. You gotta let me finish.
Okay.
You gotta let me finish my thought.
Sante, move. Go.
But to Ryan's point that he could coach that team to 9 wins, and I'm gonna say that that's true because you have Ben Roethlisberger, you have the players you have the ownership that's committed to winning. No better example than look at New England, right? So great, Bill Belichick. He's the sensei of football. Guess what? Tom Brady carried that team for years, and if you don't believe me now, then you're not watching football because it's the only difference. And Tom Brady went to a shitty Tampa Bay team with a bunch of washed-up former or future WWE Hall of Famers, and they're down there winning games and kicking ass, and New England missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
New England had 6 defensive starters opt out due to COVID.
Look,
But I still think
Arians is
it's still
overrated
questionable
too.
if they make the playoffs without Brady because that offense was abysmal.
Look. Tom Brady is Clearasil, man. He covers a lot of zits, right? I mean, it's just that team. His last year in New England, that team was not very talented, man. Tom Brady covered a lot.
Yeah.
But here's what I say when people say, "Oh, well, Thomas never had a losing season. He didn't run it off. It's not a complete dumpster fire." Well, what's your standard? I mean,
I'm trying to figure out your standard when it comes to top 15 coaches because I'm looking through every list and I can't find 9 of them that I would rather have coached my team.
All right, so I
need
got one
your
thing to say
list
about Tampa
before
Bay.
we move on because that's a crazy statement.
I got one thing to say about Tampa Bay. How did it work out with Jameis Winston?
There you go.
Thank
Look,
He went 30 and 30.
the standard.
30 and 30.
He's the
First
first
of all-
30 quarterback.
Standards.
He's
He's
elite. He's elite.
He is an
Get the
elite
40
quarterback.
touchdowns.
Hey,
He's
wait a
elite.
minute. This just it. He just threw another interception.
He didn't.
He
Wait,
threw
5 minutes,
Hey,
he'll
he
get
had a-
another touchdown.
He's going to be the first quarterback in history to have a 50-50 season, and it's going to be the best worst thing you've ever seen.
Glorious.
and they're still
It'll
going to
be
go
glorious.
7-9 and
Where,
miss the
what's he gonna?
playoffs.
Is he gonna do that in the Canadian Football League? Because that man will never
Wait.
start.
No.
in the
He'll
NFL.
go to the
Wait,
the fan league
Jordan,
with Manziel.
Jordan,
He'll go to
wait,
that league.
I gotta get this in here. Jordan, I have 2 words for you. Jamarcus Russell.
Oof.
I made that a made.
I think we
maybe that
discussed
should
that.
be
Didn't we
done.
discuss that when I was here
that's
before?
Haskins.
Yeah. Marcus Russell, Ryan Leaf. Look, the standard in Pittsburgh is not, hey, we didn't have a losing season. The standard in Pittsburgh is a Super Bowl.
That's just because you're spoiled brats and you don't realize that how great you got it because you've had it great so long. But let's just go down a list here real quick. Would you rather have Arizona's coach?
Cliff Kingsbury?
No.
Do you want him? Come on,
No.
let's just run them here. It's yes or no. Let's do it,
No.
Ryan.
No.
No, you wouldn't. Would you rather have the Ravens coach?
Yes.
Yes.
Harbaugh. Yes.
I'll give you a maybe. We'll go with one. Would you
Maybe.
But
Hey, I thought you were asking me.
Hold on.
I
Okay,
said yes,
hold
not
on.
maybe. I said yes.
Okay.
we all said yes.
Atlanta doesn't have a coach, so they're off the list.
It's
Buffalo,
gonna be Dan.
would you
It's
rather
gonna be
have
Dan
McDermott?
Mullen, and yes, I'd rather have Dan Mullen.
Yes, give me Sean McDermott over Mike Tomlin.
Okay. Would you rather have Carolina's coach?
Yes.
Matt Rule?
Yes.
Okay, we're done. If you're just gonna pull to a guy that has never won anything, we are done with the list right now because you're showing exactly what a Kentucky basketball fan does, and I am one. We live in a different world.
No, but
We
that's
live
it. But
in a
that's it.
different world
Chris,
because you are so
Chris, you're exactly
spoiled
right.
with success
Yes.
that you can't understand how difficult it is to
You
make
want
the
to be a Bengals
playoffs.
fan?
80%. I'm not a Bengal fan.
He's a Raiders fan.
I'm a Raiders fan, so I know disappointment. And I'm a
Yes,
UK
you
football
do.
fan. And I grew up around Cincinnati. I know bad football, and Pittsburgh don't play it.
Chris, I
Yeah.
think
Chris,
I think
that's
I've,
fair.
it's
I
taken
play
me
bad football.
17
He's
weeks.
disappointed too.
It's taken me 17 weeks. I think I have figured out just the different state of mind between most football fans and Chris Land. Most football fans will scratch and claw and beg to change something about their team to win a Super Bowl. Chris Land is just happy being fucking miserable. He doesn't care. He's like, we went 7-6 or 7-9. You know,
That's
if we
true.
change,
We
we might
beat
go
the
6-10.
Hold on.
We beat the
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
It's
Week
the little things in
3.
life. Chris, I
7-9.
appreciate you.
Chris has low
7.
standards. It's like, hey, we went to the Chiefs. We're
Hey,
good. Yay.
7-9, but
We
16-0 on drunk Sundays. So we'll take those stats anytime.
Yeah.
No, but your analogy, Chris, your analogy is right. I mean, Kentucky basketball and Pittsburgh football, it's the same thing. If Calipari doesn't make the Final Four this year, there's going to be people all over rubbing
It's a
like,
failure.
You should hear him. Let's get him out. I had some idiot tell me we should make Calipari just our recruiter and let somebody else coach the team. I'm like, have you ever talked to a 17-year-old? Do you
Yeah.
think for 1 minute you
Alabama
could go
football fans are the same way.
Think about
Nick
it.
Saban could go undefeated
I'm
for
just
2
recruiting
years.
you
If
guys.
he loses to Auburn, they want him fired.
Right. I just looked at that guy and turned around and walked away in the middle of a conversation when he said it because I was like, so you really think that John Calipari is going to walk into a living room and tell these All-Americans that I'm just recruiting you?
I'm just recruiting. Yeah.
That's
I'm
the
not
guy.
coaching. I'll be in the stands. I'll be behind you while we play.
I'll get you
I
a
just,
towel.
I swear to God, I was at the local watering hole, and it was a dumb UK fan, and I swear I just turned around and played my Keno ticket.
But here's what.
rather
Here's,
than going
so here's
any
why I
further
think
for
Tom.
that
So
guy.
here's what I don't like about Mike Tomlin is that the team is not buttoned up, and they lose to shit ass teams every year. They'll drop a bad game. They'll lose to a 2-win
A
Chicago
lot of
team.
teams do that though.
Okay, they do, but Cowher never did. They lose to good teams. They never lost to bad teams.
I mean,
Florida, look. But here's the difference: is that when you have the expectation of your ownership and your fan base to go to the Super Bowl, or at least to get past the first round of the playoffs. Hell, they dropped a game to Blake Bortles for crying out loud at home.
That's
can't
not
do
something
that.
you want to claim on your resume.
Right. But what Mike Tomlin does is his team will go out there and they'll beat New England. And next week they'll lose to a 2-win Chicago or a 2-win Miami team.
I get
And
it.
what happens is it drops them from, oh, we're not in the wild card round. Now we're in the wild card round, and they're having to play an extra game while Brady's sitting on the ass screwing Giselle or whatever he's doing. And it ends up being worse for Pittsburgh because they can't beat a shit ass team on the road.
I know, man. I hate it when we
I
make
think
the playoffs
in
and
your
we have to play a
pursuit
wild
of
card game
being the
rather than being at
Patriots,
home
you're gonna
again.
end up being the Jets. And I think Tomlin can win us. Does he have one Super Bowl or two? I think he has two, doesn't he?
He's been to
Tomlin
the-
is two.
He's
It's
he
two?
has one victory. He's been
Yeah, he's got one.
And he
No,
should-
two
Did-
Super Bowls is what I
And
was
Big
saying.
Ben has two Super Bowls, like
Ben
two
has
wins,
two.
right?
Yeah, that's two. Yeah.
And he's been to
Yeah.
three, right?
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
Tomlin can win another Super Bowl in
No,
Pittsburgh.
he can't. No, he can't.
I
I
think
think
he
he
can.
can too.
No,
I
no,
hope
no,
you're
he can
right,
too.
Ryan. To hell with those Steelers.
I hope he's
they'll
right
win a
too, Ryan. I hate the
championship.
Steelers. I'm a Vikings fan, and I
Hey,
just
we,
don't like
hey,
the Steelers.
we found a
but-
way to get Ryan and Chris on the same page, so we might as well wrap it up now.
the most heated
know what
rivalry in
it's
all of football. It's not Bama Auburn. It's not Ohio State Michigan. It is Chris Land and Ryan Bushmeyer.
So
Yeah,
listen,
when I go
so,
to Florida, I'm gonna go get drunk.
So
and
that-
put
so-
up with
so-
me.
so
You
this
see
has
that?
been a lot of fun. This has been a lot of fun. We do have a little bit of structured content to discuss tonight, so let's
You
try
have
to
a
jump
docket?
into
No
it.
way.
Congratulations, I'm going to get a beer.
No problem.
Yeah,
But before,
structured content like my bourbon.
yes,
Hey, what are you drinking, Hubie?
I am drinking some Old Forester 1920 tonight.
man, he's going all bougie on us.
He is.
Yeah. So
Hey, I got
I must have got stimulated.
yeah. Before we get into that, I want to actually
Joe,
I want to
just
welcome
being
Joe
quiet.
Schaefer. Joe Schaefer sliding in there pretty late. Joe Schaefer, of course,
Joe Schaefer in the hizzle.
was our guest
What's
in
up?
week 17. So I just want to make sure everybody watching is familiar and aware with everybody in our group here. So we have, and I'm going to start on the top of the screen as you're seeing it from home, from left to right. So you have Chris Land from Hebron, Kentucky. Chris is one of our regulars here. He's my co-host here on Fourth and Long. Chris is our kind of gambling expert, if you will, and he really only partially enjoys talking about lists of best coaches in football. To my right is Jordan Hawthorne's chair, which is where Jordan Hawthorne sits.
He was eating. He was in the back just snacking.
What the hell, Jordan? What's going on in your screen here? This is crazy.
That hamburger
I
helper
forgot
on the
that I had a
show,
thing
or
of
what?
Lucky Charms
Ser-
before the show.
I knew it was
So
cereal. I knew it was
I
cereal.
went back. I need to finish it off. I don't have a garbage disposal, and I don't want to dump this milk down into the trash can. It's a messy situation.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
Lord.
afraid the cats are going to get into it, but that's Jordan. Jordan is the host of a weekly Minnesota Vikings podcast called Load the Box, part of the Purple something. It's some kind of territory network.
Skull
something
thing? Is
or
it
other.
like-
No, it's
No,
they,
it's
they
not.
yeah. But it's a weekly podcast. They do it live on Facebook. It's actually a great time, even if you're not a Vikings fan. He and his co-host Jack are really passionate about it, and it comes through in their presentation. It's a great time. So Jordan is one of our regulars as well. Next on the list is our friend and yours from Lebanon, Tennessee, live from the Rock and Roll Wood Shop. It's Paul Huber. Paul came to us by way of Honest Trash Virtual Dive Bar and just being a general
Yes, I did.
awesome guy. Hubie is a bourbon aficionado. He loves all things about beef jerky. And every Monday live in the dive bar, he does the Metal Monday.
Metal Monday.
Where he talks about, all types of different music, but specifically metal. And he likes, Zuckerberg's always watching his show to shut him down when he plays music he doesn't have the
Yes.
rights to. So, and in the center, kind of, playing Alice in our version of the Brady Bunch here is
the
Dan
Brady
Shipp.
Bunch, yeah.
Daniel Shipp. Sorry, Dan is his dad. Daniel
Good,
Shipp comes
thank
to
you.
us. Daniel Shipp comes to us from Eastern North Carolina. He
Mm-hmm.
is an avid sports fan. He unfortunately likes the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, we
But-
fired our defensive coordinator today,
Yes,
so we're good.
yes.
Mike
they did.
Nolan's gone.
Yes. So Ship is coming to us from North Carolina. Ship will be my co-host for our weekly NASCAR show beginning in February. We're glad
Yep.
Ship's here. To his right is Mr. Ryan Bushmeyer. Are you in Pittsburgh at home, or are you in Vegas this time?
I'm in Pittsburgh this time, guys.
He is live
Ooh.
from Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, which is, of course, Western Pennsylvania. For those of you watching from the dive bar, centered in Eastern Pennsylvania. Is that Screwball? There
Yes,
you
you
go.
guys got the screwball out. Whoa, yay!
Screwball and Yingling Hershey's Porter.
I see that Western PA beer you got there.
Yeah.
All
So
right, guys. Hey. Reese's Peanut Butter Car Bomb.
there you
Bam.
go. Run
I
it,
love it.
Hubie.
I love it. Hey, Hubie, have you tried squirrel? The new peanut butter whiskey.
Man, he goes hard in the paint. Get him, Hubie.
Go, baby. Yes, I've
His
not
eyes.
tried it, but I've heard of it.
It's good. Not quite as sweet as Screwball, but it's good.
That matches up perfectly. The Yingling Hershey's chocolate porter, and in rocks glass, bam, one shot of Screwball. I was fortunate enough to find a half of a fifth, $13 for a 375, straight fire. This has been my highlight today, other than the other bottle of booze I bought today.
Which
Careful,
was let me finish my introduction, Hubie, and then we'll let you talk about your booze for a quick second. So in the bottom row there, you've got Josh Hawthorne. He's coming to us live from Trenton, Ohio. He's one of our regulars as well. And as luck would have it, he is this year's 4th and long Pick'em champion, taking down the field with the highest pick percentage. So well done, Josh. There is no prize in it for you.
Who came in last? Who came in last?
We're going to talk about that later.
Who came in last?
But it was not the guest pickers. It was not.
Yeah, we
That's the
didn't.
first time
She
Daniel-
gets-
He has a family.
Yeah.
He has a family ship.
So, and Joe Schaefer's coming to us live from Lebanon, Ohio, just down the road.
Hey.
Joe's here. Joe is he's a great leader in the Lebanon community, and we're glad to have him here. So, with that being said, let's talk a little bit, and let me pull him up on the screen. We're not going to go game by game last week because at this point it really doesn't matter. But I do have the picks from last week up here on the screen. More importantly, I have the final standings there on the left-hand side. So I want to give a quick shout out again to Josh. He took it down 150 correct, 80 incorrect for a correct percentage of 65.22%.
Solid.
Jordan and Chris tied for second place at a 146-84 record. And fourth
Go guest
place,
pickers.
and
Go
fourth
guest
place
pickers.
were the guest pickers at 139-85, and then coming in last.
You suck.
You know, listen. Here's the thing.
Wait. Who came in last?
I came in last. But listen, here's the thing. ESPN doesn't hire the Indian guys for their studio show to make correct picks. They hire them to run the show. So give me a break. You know, it's the I got to keep the glue on. I'm not the experts. You are. Y'all are the experts.
As punishment for losing as badly as you did, you should have to give your chair to Jordan. I couldn't help but notice that dude needs a chair. Y'all got to write a check for Jordan.
What are you talking about? This
Is
is
that
a
a
damn
lawn?
throne.
Like on a-
This is a throne. For
Is it a
king.
folding chair? Does it
Yeah,
fold?
it's a lawn
It's a
chair
lawn
that's
folding
weighted
chair.
for like 900 pounds. It legitimately is a throne.
Just because it can hold it doesn't mean it should.
Does it have a footrest too?
No.
No, it's not.
The
got the-
umbrella.
I got you. It's got.
It's got
You should
cup
demand-
holders.
You should demand Nathan's chair just for
Yeah.
No, I don't like gaming chairs.
As long as he has a bag, you gotta have a bag to carry it in.
Yeah. Well, so
It does
listen,
have a bag.
So enough about chairs. So all right. So everyone tuning in is wondering why I put #OneChipChallenge in the video
Oh,
description.
yes.
So we said about week 5 we needed to spice things up a little bit, and of course Chris Land, ever the asshole that he is, had the idea
Cheers, Chris.
that the loser of the Pick'em challenge.
It seems pretty spicy.
And at the time,
I don't know.
we thought, as a courtesy, we'll exclude the guest pickers because how can we make 17 people do the one chip challenge? Little
I
did
would've
we
bought
know they
17
wouldn't come in
chips.
last. So we
And
just
I was one of those 17 people.
actually
You were.
So was
everybody
I.
Good week.
everybody in this room is either a regular or a guest picker. Joe was week 17. Hubie, I believe you were week 13. Ship was
Yes.
on week 16 and week, I think, 9 or 10.
Yeah, it was 9 or 10.
And Ryan, I think you were week 11. I could be
I
off
don't know,
on
it's
that.
all a blur.
Yeah, the good news is you can go back and watch all of our episodes live on our Facebook page. They're all under that videos tab and the live videos tab. If you get really, really bored and you would rather do something that is different than watching paint dry but about as exciting, you can go back and watch all of our shows. We had a great time this season, and I do want to thank everybody that's in this room with me tonight for being a big part of that. And I want to thank also our viewers at home just for tuning in. I mean, this was a really stupid idea that we had 17 weeks ago. We said, hey, it's I guess actually 18 weeks ago now. We said, hey, we go live a lot and drink beer and bullshit and do a lot of stupid stuff. What if we went live and talked about football? You think anybody would watch? Last week, guys, we hit 6,000 homes. Over 1,400 of you watched our show for a significant period of time.
Go.
And I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would ever do anything on Facebook Live that 1,400 people would sit down and actually stop what they're doing and watch it and pay attention. So thank you guys for providing us a platform to do what we do. We've had a whole lot of fun with it. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to be live every week throughout the playoffs, including the bye week between the championship week and the Super Bowl. That actually is the week in which I will be doing the One Chip Challenge live on Facebook. So there's no hiding it. There's no video editing to cover the salty tears. It's good. We're going to be doing it live. Like I think it was Bill O'Reilly said, "Fuck it, we'll do it live," and we're going to. So
I will be hand delivering that.
Yeah. Chris is going to hand deliver it.
We'll be live.
And if he has his way, he'll hold me down and shove it in my face.
Yeah, all right, so, hey,
are we
Nathan,
doing
I would
this
like
via
to raise
Zoom?
my hand at this moment. Can I say something?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So I want you to give a shout out to everyone that is live with us within this 8-person panel, and all the different states that we are in.
Yeah, good call. So we have represented. We have 4 people from Ohio. We have Tennessee, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Kentucky. I mean, that's 5 different states, and we're all here on Zoom talking football and enjoying some beverages. And I don't know what Joe's doing because I haven't seen him drink anything. Maybe he's eating a brownie or 2. I don't know.
Special brownie.
Oh, drinking water.
Hey, I'm right there with you. I'm right there. Water.
Yeah.
Nathan,
H2O, baby.
Yeah, buddy.
Is it time?
it's time.
All right.
1,800 people, 4 laps down nation, people.
Yeah.
Let's
Right.
go.
So we did hit
Another
1,800. So
We owe a shotgun to the people.
yeah,
You
we
know
do.
what? Hang on. I don't do shots, but I'm going. I mean, I don't do shotguns, but I'm going to get the bottle.
So
of
So
Fireball.
I know you're going to get your fireball, Chris.
Anybody
Here we go.
Anybody
Give me 1
watching?
second.
Anybody watching from home that wants to shotgun with us? Go ahead. Hubie's gonna do one. I'm gonna do one. Josh is getting up like he's gonna do one, but I know better. Jordan,
I've got half a mandarin in front of me, and I'll eat it all in one piece.
Jordan's gonna
Let's go,
shotgun
Jordan.
a cup
Let's
of
go.
Lucky Charms, and
Hang on. So we just hit 1,800.
So we hit 1,800
2 days ago. 2 days ago.
Yeah, earlier this week.
If only I had a warm beverage.
A warm,
Something I've been saving for a special occasion.
Ah, there it is.
that
Oh,
was
could
bad.
that be
Nathan ain't even looking.
Busch apple?
Oh, is that warm?
Little bush apple, room temperature.
Nice.
I'll shotgun it.
Uh-oh.
So I got the smack me twisted tea. I love that video. Video of the year.
Oh, it's
This
great.
bush is the last apple I have, and
All
I'm
the
pretty upset about it.
All right, I literally just sprayed Busch Light all over my. I have a laptop and a desktop here. It's covered.
Ryan, are you going to shotgun?
He's not.
I'm drinking a glass.
Do you have
Yeah.
a beverage that you can raise with us?
He does have a beverage.
Wait,
He's just not gonna
turn it
shotgun.
around. Is that like a Heineken?
Dos seconds.
Dos Equis. Dude, I'm down with the Dos Equis.
Yeah, I'm a
I
South
love Mexican beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna do. I think this will be the most on-screen shotguns / shot / Joe's drinking water that we've done on 4th and Long, and then we're gonna get into the picks and talk.
I'll throw down.
Carousel.
I'll throw down with this stage 2-0.
There
Let's do it.
you go. I love it.
Hey,
Who we waiting on?
water. Hey,
Don't see me
water
driving,
matters.
Joe.
Is Jordan getting a cold glass? What is he doing?
He's getting a
Oh,
couple
let's
glasses
get
of
it.
milk.
I got a sink
go.
next to me, so
All right,
Is that
ready?
a Dr. Check?
All right, ready?
All right,
Count us
boys.
down, Hubie.
1, 2, 3, 4 laps down. Killed it.
I think Chris is dead. Chris, you all right?
Yeah, I'm great. That first one's a little rough sometimes, you know.
Everybody
But then
goes
I
against
get,
the rules.
you
I
know,
think
once
we're
I
gonna
get
have to
it,
get some
once I
wisdom.
gets it greased up, they just go right on down right there.
Yeah, they
Hey,
do.
so before we move up, hey Joe, Marvin
won?
Jones, Marvin Jones, week you were
You know,
over it.
Tell you what,
I missed it. Did you guys talk about Marvin
Since
Lewis?
Not
we're
yet.
Since we're drinking, I have a shot shoot.
I've seen
I have
you
bourbon.
do this.
There you go.
Oh God.
I have a bourbon and I have a shot shoot. Let's go.
He doesn't
That's
have
all
a
right.
liver. He does not have a liver. I'm already.
That's
Well,
all
sure.
right. When I
he's
grow
work-
up, I'm gonna be Hubie the liverless too.
I gotta decorate the basement, man. That's awesome.
That is nice.
Yeah, that's actually Hubie's garage where he
I've
woodworks.
always been amazed by the
And-
liver.
and-
All I
the
have
rock
is
and roll
the
wood
upside
shop,
down
bitch.
surfer.
Yeah, it's the rock and roll wood shop, and
Oh, it is upside down.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm 55 and I have a lot of practice.
that's true. He has drank.
Hey, I'm right behind you, big dog.
He's
Hey,
drank
hey,
more than you.
good decisions come from wisdom, and wisdom comes from
Bad decisions.
bad decisions.
Bad just
Bad
Mhm.
decisions. Yes,
That's true.
absolutely.
That's true. So we lost the Hawthorne brothers, but Joe, to
I
answer
was
your
just talking
question,
about bar fights the other night. That almost the same
Yeah.
conversation.
yeah. So we have not talked coaching carousel yet, and Joe really wants to talk
Oh.
about his buddy
Wait,
Marvin
hold on.
Lewis.
Hold on 1 second. And I want to answer Chris's question earlier.
Okay.
The number is 14. There are 14 coaches in the NFL I take before Mike Tomlin.
It looked.
Ryan, last time as soon as we got off, you ran away because you didn't want to argue with me anymore. We're going to go over this list before you run away because I may not see you till next year.
14. Count them up. I got the list right here.
I got like
No,
seven.
wait. Okay, everybody, right now, I want to hear from Joe. Joe, what's on your mind?
Talk about Marvin, Joe.
Marvin Jones and Marvin Lewis, baby. Detroit. What do you guys think of that?
So some context here. So Joe called his shot last week.
The playoffs.
He said Joe called his shot last week. He said the guy that I think is going to have a great game this week is Marvin Jones. I'm calling it now. He's going to go off, and well, Marvin Jones went off.
He had
He
like
was-
180 and 2.
Yeah, he was great. If you had him in your fantasy lineup, and you heard it here first from your friend and mine, Joe Schaefer. Good
That's
call,
a heck
Joe.
of a shot. I
Now,
didn't
the
know.
other Marvin that Joe's asking about, and this is going to start our coaching carousel conversation because we're going to talk
Here
about
we go.
this. Marvin Lewis has been rumored and linked to what team, Joe?
Detroit, what?
Detroit what?
No.
No, wrong.
No.
What team has Marvin Lewis
It was
been
New York.
linked to?
It was New York Jets.
Correct.
Oh, Cincinnati. But the rumor is he's going to Detroit now, not New York.
Really?
Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
you're
you.
good.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah,
All right,
you were
all
just on a little bit of a delay, but we got
Okay,
you.
so here's my thought. I think the ownership in Detroit is actually good, but they have not had the best decisions in their GMs and head coaches. But I think Marvin Lewis, I tell you what, in Detroit, I think that's a solid connection.
Yeah,
Marvin Lewis will take the Detroit Lions to the playoffs.
I agree. I totally agree.
if he can keep Matt Stafford.
Doesn't matter if he keeps them or not.
He's broken, man. I mean,
I
the
really-
island of misfit toys putting him together. We can't do it much longer.
Listen, that guy's injury prone. He's worse. I think he's better than Carson Wentz right now, but
Yes,
he
he
is
is.
so injury prone. It's not even funny. He
There's-
lands on his side.
there's
he
the
breaks his
trade.
thumb, he does. I mean, you could trade him. We'll give Kirk Cousins for him, but I mean,
what? Big
No,
Dick
I
Kirk.
Jordan,
listen,
would
Did you see Jordan's
No,
face?
God,
Oh
no.
my God, that's
No.
hilarious.
I'm
Look
a,
at that.
No.
There was,
Did you
there was
see
one
Jordan
quarterback
Materio
in this
over
league.
there?
There was one quarterback in
I'm-
this league that I legitimately would give Kirk Cousins up for that actually might be able to happen, and that's if we could block Osweiler his ass and get Deshaun Watson onto the Vikings.
Hold
after
on.
we get
chance.
Deshaun
Nathan.
Watson.
Nathan,
Possible.
write down
Dude,
date
okay, so
and
let-
time
wait,
of
wait,
show
wait,
for
let
the
me-
hot
let me-
take.
Okay, so this is
because
my turn.
that will hit the that
This
will
is
hit
the-
it on Super Bowl.
All right, so we're talking about the AFC South. This is something I actually know and follow. Deshaun Watson is not going to leave Houston. That he was the best player on the worst team in the division. Dude, Deshaun Watson is not going anywhere.
He's
He's
not going
not.
to. And Houston's
You
not
can
Listen.
hope. You can pray, but
listen,
I tell you what.
Listen, it's going to rub him the wrong way. The fact that they traded.
You got to let Hubie finish.
No, but I'm telling you, and the Houston Texans are they're our foes, and you saw the game he put up in a game that does not matter. It didn't matter if they win, if they lose, and dude, he put up some numbers, and I tell you what, I have great respect for Deshaun Watson. I tell you what, if the Houston Texans are smart, they are not going to let him go because they're going to roll over their general manager and their head coach. But you know what? You continue to build your team around one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
So
listen,
I think the problem is they don't have any draft capital to put anything around them. So I think that's his
true.
frustration.
But that's on the general manager leading into the last two seasons.
So I read.
NFL to have a franchise quarterback. Deshaun Watson's a franchise quarterback. You do not let him go. I don't care what you got to do. You do not let that guy go.
But what if that guy says, "I will not play another down for you because you kept Bill O'Brien"?
Let me finish. If Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans had 10 wins this year, he's MVP.
And if my aunt had a penis, she would be my uncle.
But he got it right.
The Texans front office decided to ship away everything that he had, so now he doesn't want to play in Houston.
But I will tell you this: if you had an award for the quarterback with the most heart and being efficient, dude, he had so little around him. And now we have a new general manager coming into Houston. Dude, I'm keeping Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, and Houston wants to keep him.
And Houston would love to keep him. But when they trade your best weapon that you have, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, for literally a sack of potatoes and 2 deflated footballs, like, what does that say to your quarterback? Hey, we really like you and we want you to be our franchise quarterback, but we're going to trade away the best weapon that you have for absolutely nothing.
All right,
I love it.
So you do understand the words that we fired our general manager, correct?
Hold on.
You do understand they fired their general manager. Hello.
It's still rubbing the wrong way. It could already be the damage could already be done. He could already have in his mind, I'm done in Houston. I don't want to play here anymore. I want out. And they can say, well, you're our franchise quarterback. And he can say, well, I'm not playing.
He hasn't talked to the owner even since they hired the new GM. He hasn't even talked to him.
All right, guys. I also have 2 other words.
I'm not gonna.
I have 2 more words for you. Franchise tag.
It doesn't matter. He can still not.
It doesn't matter. He can stay at home and say that he's just not going to get paid. He's made enough money.
Yeah, why are you letting the Vikings fans?
He just signed a new contract.
And hey, I'm not advocating for him to do that. The Vikings aren't going to get him. Let's be realistic. This isn't Madden.
Anywhere.
He's not. But what I'm saying is that's the only guy that I think realistically, like the only quarterback in the league that I would be like, yeah, that guy, I know what he is. Really like that guy. That we could realistically get. We're not going to be able to trade a 6th round pick for Patrick Mahomes.
Wait. That's the only quarterback in the league? You're like, seriously? That's the only one?
That it's realistic? Do you think that hang on. Do you think the Chiefs are going to pick up Rick Spielman's phone call when he calls and says, Cousins, 2 1s, we'll take Mahomes off your hand? You think they're going to hang up? They're going to laugh.
Okay, so you wouldn't take Sam Darnold over Kirk Cousins?
I would. I said that. I said it.
So what's funny? What's funny is that Jordan actually doesn't hate Sam Darnold.
I don't.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal.
He's not Kirk Cousins right now.
Nathan, go.
Here's what we know about Kirk Cousins. When the lights come on, he folds like a cheap suit. Period. He's great at 1 o'clock on Sunday. But when it comes to 8 o'clock on Sunday night,
time out. Did you watch?
On Monday night against the Bales and last year in the playoffs.
Stop, Jordan. Jordan, stop. Listen, did you watch the wild card round last year when we played in New Orleans with fans and he went into Drew Brees' house and beat the Saints yet again in the lights in the middle of New Orleans?
Congratulations. You did
Yeah,
it
but
once.
yeah, but to be fair, the lights are always on there because they fucking play inside, Josh. It doesn't look any different.
I'm just going to remind
They
you
have
that
to
the
be on.
Raiders beat them too.
He went in and beat them.
Look, Kirk Cousins, over the course of his career, has folded under the lights. He did it once. Congratulations. Mike Tomlin won a Super Bowl. He's still overrated.
Yeah, I don't want to do the Cousins debate because I'll start screaming and it'll go on for 3 hours.
Go Christian Ponder.
It'll get bad. But the place that I'm at on Cousins this year is I look at this Vikings team and I say 2 games that I can say, yeah, that was Cousins' fault. That was Cousins played piss po.
Yeah.
Should not be our quarterback after those 2 games.
Hey, Jordan, you are 100% correct.
Yeah. And then what I was saying about Deshaun Watson, not that it's going to happen, just that remember the Brock Osweiler trade? Who was it? It was Denver gave him this huge contract. They traded him to Cleveland with like a first-round pick just to get the contract off their books. If we could if we could Osweiler Cousins to the Texans and say, look, we'll give you 1s, 2s, 3s, we'll give you whatever you need.
Yeah,
you're going to give us Watson.
Clear some cap space.
Yeah, well, we clear cap space, and then we immediately take it back on with Deshaun Watson. But we go from having Cousins to having Deshaun Watson, and I would say that's going to solve some of our offensive line issues, having somebody that's
a really fun team to watch.
What's Minnesota's first-round draft order this year? What are they?
They pick 14th right now, but the Texans don't pick until the 3rd round. So
14th? No.
Laramie
I'm not
Tunsil.
getting a replacement. My answer is no. I don't
All
care.
right, I want to ask one
Well, you
question
could throw a bunch of
Chris
stuff,
Land.
and then you could stout Cousins.
No.
I want to
What's
ask
up,
one
Amy?
question of Chris Land.
Sir.
So do you go Cousins or Carr?
I go Carr.
I go Carr. I don't know, man. I'm a Kirk Cousins guy, though. I liked him at Washington when he took that job and he had a chip on his shoulder.
Cousins is vanilla ice cream.
I like.
Yeah, but vanilla ice cream
You know
sometimes
what,
is just what you need.
Hey, you know what, man? If you've ever been to Rupp Arena and had the vanilla soft serve vanilla ice cream, you can know how great that can be. So,
Dude, I make ice cream. I know how good vanilla can be. But vanilla,
yes. However, Chris Land, you do know that I live in Tennessee and we have Tennessee whiskey, but I decide to drink bourbon instead.
I mean, I get Kentucky's just, superior to everything, so we'll just move on from that conversation.
Hey, I think Texas Longhorn basketball is ranked higher than Kentucky right now.
A lot of people
listen. I think St. Mary's on the West Coast is probably ranked higher than Kentucky right now.
Kentucky has actually figured it out, and they did get their best player back this week.
Have they hit a 3.0 yet?
They finally did. I called up Coach Cal, and I was like, look, I have that perfect gooseneck. If you just let me come in, I will help with release, spread fingers to get better ball control. I could teach it. But he didn't return my text. So
okay. So to our panel, I do have to say it is time for me to check out. And I told Nathan this. I will hang in as long as I can.
Sure.
Because at some point it will be time for me to take care of my lady, my wife Becky. Many of you know of Becky. And she had a knee replacement surgery last week. And now it's time for me to go back to the house. But you know what? Got a little bit of Jim Beam double up to finish the night.
That's a good affordable booze, right?
Dude, $21. This is like the best $21 ever. Hey, listen, thank you so much.
It's a solid choice.
Hey, Chris.
QB, are you not going out on a bowling ball shot?
No, fuck it. We're gonna do both.
Oh my God!
We're supposed to take care of.
Oh boy!
Let's go.
I have seen peak Tennessee now.
Yeah, yes, you have.
We ain't playing.
Hey, while he's loading that up, if I have to answer that question, I'm going to go with Carr. I don't think either one of them gets the Raiders to the next level.
I agree.
But I would go with Carr. But I promise you that if I could get Deshaun Watson, I'd give him first round picks.
Yeah.
And then just
move heaven and earth.
Yeah, just draft receivers and let them run.
It's as close to Mahomes as you're gonna get.
All right, so here we go, guys. As I close it out tonight, Nathan, Chris, Jordan, Daniel, Ryan, Josh. Love you guys. Much love from the Rock and Roll Wood Shop as we shut it out tonight with a bowling ball shot.
14-pound ball.
I think it's a.
That's a 14-pound fingertip ball. That's a man's bowling ball right
Is
there.
that a game breaker? I think it's a game breaker.
That's a man's
He
bowling
is a
ball.
bowler.
Y'all hillbilly. Hey, you know you're a hillbilly if you can identify a bowling ball
Look.
live on
Yeah.
TV.
Yes.
A 14
I told you, I got my. I bowl, bro.
That's legit.
All right. I see you, Shep. I see you, Shep.
Hubie,
Hey, Hubie.
All right, so
Hubie, give the best to the wife.
Hey, thanks, Hubie.
This is my parting shot. Nathan, thank you for inviting me into your world.
We appreciate you being here.
And I love that we have got to be not only a part of 4 Laps Down, 4 Laps Nation, 4th and Long, but the Honest Travs Virtual Dive Bar. Listen, thank you so much. I'm going to go in the house. I'm going to take care of my lady, and you guys fucking rock.
Hey, brother,
You know
we'll
what?
be here for a while if you come back.
I just might tag back in. I still have the link.
I got you, buddy.
All right. So
Later,
what I'm
bud.
saying is goodbye for now. Much love from Lebanon, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
See you, Hubie.
With that, I want
Night.
to go get some whiskey. I'll see y'all in a minute.
Look, we got Ryan all worked up. He's
Listen,
all fired up.
He's
listen.
the hard shit.
Ryan said Tennessee, peak Tennessee. And I about died. I about died.
It's true though.
Oh, also, I think I got more of that shotgun all over my shirt than I did in my mouth. So
That's
that
what
was
she said.
that was
Yeah.
fun.
Hey, well, normally you get more of it in your mouth, so I guess that's a nice change.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
so
was.
look,
It was
I'm
fun.
gonna go ahead and say it, and I don't care that Ryan's not here. Are we gonna talk about the fact that Urban Meyer's gonna be coaching the Jacksonville Jaguars
I think
and
you know-
Goldilocks himself, Trevor Damn Lawrence?
I
Hold
don't
on.
know. I don't
That's
know.
Ronnie
Listen,
Bass.
Hold on.
Get it right.
I
Listen.
don't know if he's
Make
gonna
that pitch.
because if you're Urban Meyer, and this is a great. Hold on. Okay, before we get into this, I got to give my take on the Houston situation. First and foremost, Deshaun Watson's not going anywhere, but he's not going to be happy
Okay.
this season.
Who would have
Here's
listen?
why.
I'm going to interrupt you because I don't care about your feelings. Who would have said at the beginning of the season that Deshaun Watson was going to be playing for the Arizona Cardinals?
DeAndre Hopkins, not Deshaun Watson.
That's
DeAndre.
whatever.
So okay.
DeAndre Hopkins.
But
Who would have
said-
said that? You didn't answer my question.
No one would have. But listen, since that happened, they fired the head coach, they fired the general manager. So up until about 2 weeks ago, Deshaun Watson was in a good spot. The reason that people are talking about this is not because they traded DeAndre Hopkins, not because they brought in Bill O'Brien and stuck with him for 3-4 seasons. The reason that Watson is mad is because the owner of the team came to him and J.J. Watt and sat them both down individually and said, "Listen, we're rebranding the franchise. We're at a turning point, and I want both of you here long term. So both of you are going to be directly involved in the hiring of a GM and the hiring of a coach because you are the leaders on your side of the ball. We need your input." And guess what happened? J.J. Watt got a say. Guess who didn't get a phone call? Deshaun Watson. So if you're Deshaun Watson and you are the best player on that team, period, and you don't get a phone call and J.J. Watt does, that tells me what? If I'm Deshaun Watson, it's real simple. J.J. Watt has the respect of the owner.
Put some spec
Deshaun
on
Watson
my name.
does not. And Deshaun
Put
Watson has
some
been
spec
more
on his name.
impactful to that franchise since he's been there than J.J. Watt has because his best years are beyond him. So Deshaun Watson's not going anywhere, but that owner's got some serious ass kissing to do. And if I'm that new GM, the first thing I do is I sit down, I take Deshaun Watson out for a $400 steak dinner, and I tell him, "You have my ear. If you say it, I will try to make it happen because you're my guy."
Dom.
What's that?
Break out the Dom Perignon. We're really gonna
Yep.
spin.
Oh,
If
Here's
you-
the, and
if
you know
you
what?
want
good Lord.
With that, here's the thing. If they did go to JJ Watt and they still made that Hopkins trade,
No.
No, this is after the
now.
Hopkins
This was
trade.
just now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
Just
saying
now.
This is the GM selection that they went to
the
join
GM
for.
selection.
I missed what you were
Yep.
saying.
The
ownership.
deal made.
I'm sorry, because
the
I didn't
deal,
know that story.
The deal that the owner made with Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt was, I'm going to consult you guys when I hire a GM, and the expectation is going to be that he consults you when he hires a head coach. And J.J. Watt got that meeting. Deshaun Watson did not. So it was an empty promise. And if I'm Deshaun Watson, and I think that the owner still, to this day, thinks J.J. Watt is more impactful to that franchise than Deshaun Watson, I'm pissed. And I get it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Here's
the thing. Deshaun Watson's not an idiot. He's not going to forego, what is it, was it $50 million he gets paid this year? What the hell is his contract?
No, it's like 35, I think.
$35 million. I'm not giving
at,
up $35 million to throw a man hissy and not play, because you don't need to do that to make your point. All you do is you tell the owner, I want to trade, and then when he decides he doesn't want to shop you, you go to him and you say, listen, here's the deal. I'll play here, but don't you ever disrespect me the way you did again, or I'm gone, because 31 other teams in this league would love to have me, and you know it. And that's true.
Yeah, he was
what
good.
The issue is, what the issue is too is like, it's not like it's the GM and it's like, okay, well this it's not like Bill O'Brien disrespected him and it's like, well, he's gone after this.
This has nothing to do with Bill O'Brien.
I know. I'm saying
owner.
It's not like it's a GM or a coach that he has beef with.
Yeah.
This is ownership.
Yeah. If
Football
you're Deshaun
teams
Watson,
do not get sold very often.
If you're Deshaun Watson, you can get the coach fired. You can get the GM fired. You cannot get the owner fired.
And
right? That's why Pittsburgh wins despite Mike Tomlin, not because
Jerry
of
Jones.
Yes.
Hey, I'm right there with you.
Because the Rooneys are the best ownership team in all of sports, let alone all of football. The Rooneys are there to win, and they do it despite all of the zits that are on their team, to use the Clearasil mark, whoever the hell came up with that was pretty clever. The Rooneys are committed to winning, right? And you can do things like have a so-so head coach and a so-so, defensive secondary and still win games when you have a I hate to say it, I'm gonna vomit as I say it, when you have a first ballot Hall of Famer quarterback leading your team, jerking off all over the sidelines, and you have an ownership base who is committed to winning, because the culture in the locker room in Pittsburgh. There have been many years, I think, in the last 10 years where the Cincinnati Bengals have been more talented than the Pittsburgh Steelers. But there has never been a single year, bar none, no exceptions, period, that the Bengals were ever coming in the swinging dicks in that game, because the Pittsburgh Steelers expect to win. The Bengals are just there to have fun.
There was one time they did.
One.
The Carson game where he got hurt.
Yep.
Well, that's fair.
The
But
Bengals,
that was more than 10 years ago.
The Bengals
that was more
not
than
only
10 years
had the
ago.
best win, they were throwing it over the shoulder.
No, legit.
I mean, it was
2005. The Bengals, they were walking around with their dicks hanging out. That was
over the shoulder strong.
The Cincinnati Mandingos.
Let me just.
They were letting their nuts hang out, baby. They're walking in, putting their foot up on the coffee table.
To put a bow on this Deshaun Watson talk, and for anybody that's watching that hasn't followed along, I think the biggest, to wrap it all up in one short story, is Bill O'Brien was a former Bill Belichick Patriots guy, and he went to the Texans, obviously did what he did. They hired another Patriots employee to come be their new GM, and Deshaun Watson tweeted, shaking my head, sometimes things never change.
How many coaches off the Belichick tree have succeeded?
Well, he's a GM. I don't know about GMs, but
same with GMs. It's the same.
I don't.
Because
Vrabel is your only
all
guy,
the other
really.
coaches don't have Tom Brady.
Vrabel didn't coach for Belichick.
Yeah, but look what Josh McDaniels did. He left and came back.
He's still considered off that Belichick tree.
Joe, the Joey's still out on Joe Judge. With the Giants, but again, it's the Giants. He lost Saquon, and they were playing for a playoff spot. They just needed the Eagles to not tank on national TV.
No, they were. He was giving Nate Sudfeld some time. He was giving Nate Sudfeld some time.
That was pathetic. That was literally pathetic. That was pathetic. I watched that game after halftime. That was pathetic.
We should say that the Giants probably win that without a Saquon injury.
I would say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Vrabel
probably
was
gets
off of
them
the
one more
Urban Meyer
win,
tree.
maybe. I know the Ants had balls and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but
no.
Saquon is transitional, his talent that this doesn't come along very often. And luckily for me, I didn't have him on any of my fantasy teams this year. I cashed in on him last year, but that was that's just because the drafts didn't fall in my favor to get him. I definitely would have
taken him if you had it. If you
but
had
I didn't have a draft pick better than 6th or 7th in any of my 5 leagues this year. So
hey, speaking of fantasy leagues, just for the update, Chris Paxidis put up like 220 points in week 2 and ended up beating me by like 50 points.
Maybe we can bait him into playing into a money league next year.
I'm in on that league, by the way. I'm dropping.
I 100% want to do like a faux laps down league next year. I think that could be some fun. Like
My Little Pony tattoo to last. But we'll do that.
Anyway, Nathan, we started to talk about
Nathan, don't sign up
and then
for
we
that.
got back on the Texans thing.
You don't want those problems.
Are we gonna talk about Urban Meyer?
Yeah,
let's do that.
So listen, so we're here to talk about coaching carousel. We're getting Joe back in. Joe had some technical difficulties, but he's on his way back in. Apparently he's using his wife's account because he keeps showing up as Savannah, and I have to rename him.
I saw that earlier, and I was like, who's Savannah?
Yeah.
Savannah?
Never know. Look, the man's a community leader, so I won't throw any shade.
2021, guys.
Hey, don't assume his gender, guys. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So listen, so Urban Meyer is rumored to be connected to Jacksonville. Here's why that's not going to happen. Okay.
It's horrible.
It's not going to happen. 2 things. And I know Urban Meyer. Okay. I know a lot of Buckeye fans that I live around think that Urban Meyer's their guy, but here's the thing. Urban Meyer doesn't even get a sniff at Ohio State if he doesn't do what he did at Florida, right? Florida made the damn man. I know the guy.
He was good at Utah.
He was good at Utah.
He was a Utah man.
He was good at Utah.
Hey,
you damn homo.
Hold on. He's one Alex Smith away from being a nobody. So let's slow our roll.
What about the Bowling Green Falcons?
Yeah.
Hey,
damn you. Bowling Green Falcons.
Truth be told, I was at the game when Bowling Green played in the shoe when he was the head coach. And Josh Harrison was the quarterback for Bowling Green. And they gave those Buckeye front seven many fits as they could handle, to the point where there were people really, really nervous in those stands.
Look, Urban Meyer cut his teeth at Bowling Green in Utah, but he became the man when he was at Florida. Nathan and I were in the stands for the LSU game in 06. And they had to jump pass and the whole thing. We're sitting there going, holy shit.
I got
versus Jamarcus Russell.
He's a freaking quitter, though.
Well, we're gonna get to that. So let me talk a little bit more about why
health reasons.
Let me my ass. Well,
he's a quitter. Hey, when the shit gets hot, he gets out of town.
Listen, I'm just telling you, I would shoot up a syringe of HIV for $15 million a year for the rest of my life. I'm just saying. So health reasons, bullshit. Listen, here's why it's not going to happen. He's not going to go to Jacksonville. Two reasons. Number one, he's not well liked in Northern Florida anymore.
Bullshit.
Number 2,
there's a lot of Gator fans in Jacksonville.
Time heals a lot of wounds.
Yeah, listen.
Jacksonville is a Gator town.
It is.
Through and through.
Of course it is, because the entire state of Florida is Gators. Because Miami and Florida State aren't shit.
Florida State.
They're not shit.
Panhandle is Seminole.
South. Because the Panhandle.
Whoa, time out. I'm from the Panhandle.
Thank you. The Panhandle's a bunch of hillbillies.
The northern Panhandle is no country.
There's 2 types of people from the Panhandle.
I'm from the Panhandle.
Hillbillies and Gator fans. And by the way, I think it's cute that at Florida State they let the sorority girls graze on the front lawn. I've seen it firsthand. It's awesome.
I'll put that
firsthand, baby.
Hey, I'll put that Florida State talent against any talent in the country. All you got to do is just follow the internet and the cowgirls that show up at every game will make those Gator bite-eating salads in Gainesville.
No. Hold up.
Get a tan.
Oh, you got to slow your roll on that one. I will not argue the talent at Florida State is legit, but when it's 60% female, you got a lot to choose from.
I get it. Hey, you know what? Hey,
because
I promise
it's the women's college of the University of Florida system.
I wanted that bar. I promise you.
Florida State's got some talent. There's a ton. Listen, Florida red shirts, Playboy centerfolds. All right, listen.
Do they?
Yes.
Do they? They don't even get beach life in Gainesville. Hey,
When
for
Matt
everybody
Walsh,
that does not know, Gainesville is a goat farm city in the middle of
you
Florida.
have never been to
It doesn't
Gainesville.
have a
You have
coastline.
never been to Gainesville, Florida. You
I
have
lived
never-
in Jacksonville. I've lived in Tampa. I've lived in Bradenton. I've been to Gainesville. My brother works at UCLA.
Gorgeous
in
city.
Yeah, you
Orlando.
fucking
Beautiful.
goat
I
fomos.
know more
Beautiful
about
city.
your city than probably you do in
Oh my
Gainesville.
god.
And I can tell you the good bars and the bad bars.
Hold on. Which bar did Tim Tebow keep Aaron Hernandez from shooting somebody?
I
in?
don't know the name
That's
of
the
it,
flop.
but I think
That's the
he gave
flop.
him the getaway car.
Yeah.
He didn't
Hey,
stop and
hey,
keep it.
you know, Tim Tebow was gonna pull one and pull a win against the Steelers because he's been pulling Aaron Hernandez out of tight spots for years. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Urban Meyer was a
saying.
genius because he made Aaron Hernandez room with Tim Tebow because he said if there's anybody that's gonna keep that boy out of prison, it's gonna be Tim.
Listen.
The police
You
will
had
believe
Aaron
his alibi.
Hernandez. Look, you had Aaron Hernandez, Riley Cooper, the Pouncey brothers, Chris Rainey, all on that team. And it had to have
Percy
somebody
Harvin
like
selling
Tebow
pounds
going,
of bud. It was
yeah,
great.
you had Tebow up there going, what the hell am I going to do?
He's up there. I'm just going to pray harder because these fools are unhelpful.
Hey, and you know what? Here's why.
That 2008. Someday there's going to have to be an ESPN 30 for 30 on the
We've
2008
been calling
Florida
for
games.
it.
Oh my gosh! It all
Hey,
led by a pass.
could you imagine Ryan and I drunk at a bar where nobody knew us? They would swear to God we're getting ready to fight. They'd call security just because we were talking.
Chris, I got to be honest with you. I feel like if you weren't on Zoom, you would be getting ready to fight.
Well, I am a violent man.
It's all good.
I'm
Not
just gonna
Ryan.
say,
I'm just kidding, Ryan. I'm just kidding.
It's not a hot take, but the Super Bowl show with the best of the year has to have Chris Land calling Ryan a fucking goat farmer on there. Like, that was the funniest thing I've heard on this show.
So
I
listen,
don't know,
If you're gonna bash on if you're gonna bash on Gainesville, we're gonna talk about Lexington.
well, hey,
Oh, boy.
listen,
Hey,
Chris
you don't
is
want to bring up the females in Lexington because they way out past Florida.
oh,
Man,
stop
they
it.
outpace you, and it's not even
Hey,
close.
hold on. That's only if you take the average of the ones that have a full set of teeth.
No. You can look it up, son. You can look it up. There are lots of lists of hottest. Kentucky holds their own every single year.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
The farmer's
The
daughter.
issue is they keep marrying their
Oh, you
damn
gotta go
brothers.
find 'em out.
Hey, maybe we recycle them, but they're still fucking hot.
Jesus. All right. Anyway.
You gotta go find them out in the sticks, the horse farms.
So, all
Hey,
right,
those
all right.
farmers' daughters, girls can't wait to get buck wild when they get to Fayette County.
I've been there.
All right. So, Urban Meyer to the
Urban Meyer,
Jags. Let's
exactly.
circle
You don't
back.
think it's happening?
I don't think it's going to happen, and here's why.
You literally gave us one reason. We haven't
I
even
know.
gotten to the
I
second
know.
one.
Here's why. Here's why. This is the full Monty here. Urban Meyer
Oh God!
is not interested in building or rebuilding anything. He's just
Why
not.
do you think that? Why do you think that?
Because he's not okay. He's built
Urban
a couple
Meyer's a
things,
builder.
but he's
That's
not a
all he
but he's
does.
not a
He builds and
rebuilder.
moves on.
But he's not a
like
rebuilder.
Larry Brown of football.
But here's the thing. If NFL franchises are really old. Coming in, you're rebuilding. Period. The end. And Urban Meyer doesn't want to rebuild. Urban Meyer does not have it in his ego to allow him to come in. I don't care that you get Trevor Lawrence. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to sniff greatness in the NFL. He'll play. He might play for a long time, but he's not going to be great in the NFL.
Nathan.
But here's the thing. Before you tell me I'm wrong and show your ass, listen to me for a second. Urban Meyer does not want to go to Jacksonville. Urban Meyer is going to tell them a price so high that if they pay it, he's going to say, well, shit, I can't turn that down. Urban Meyer wants to go to San Diego with Justin Sherbert and that team who's ready to run deep into the playoffs right now. That's where he wants to go. That's where he wants to go. Urban Meyer's not going to Jacksonville with these jobs on the line. Hell, I think Atlanta would be more of a draw for him than Jacksonville, but he's not going there because Dan Mullen's all but gone.
Timeout.
All right.
You want to talk about rebuild, and you're going to say that Atlanta's not getting ready to start rebuilding?
The only thing Urban Meyer has ever done in his career is build.
And then as soon as it gets dicey, he has a heart attack and leaves. He did it at Florida. He did it at Ohio State. He's gone.
That's not what you
said.
said.
Be the savior, but he can't hold it down. That's
that's not what you said, Nathan. That's not what you said. You said he doesn't want to build. That's the only thing he's ever done. He built Bowling Green. He built Utah. He built Florida. Built Ohio State.
Ryan.
He built Florida. He brought him
Ron Zook built Florida. And don't you dare say otherwise. Ron Zook. Ron Zook's the best recruiter that school's had since Spurrier.
Ron Zook gathered talent. That 08 team was all Myers players. All of them. All of them. Look,
that's why you'd rather have the Carolina Panthers coach than Mike Tomlin.
You guys are assuming that Jacksonville is a dearth of talent. Jacksonville's actually got a lot of talent on the team. They need a culture changer. They don't need access to no guy. They need a culture change. That's what Urban Meyer does.
Well, Urban Meyer brings in guys that get kicked out of school for stealing laptops and go on to win a Heisman at Auburn. Urban Meyer brings in people that shoot people.
Look, you can blow off a hooker's ass in the NFL. Nobody cares.
Okay, but Urban Meyer does leave when the shit gets going.
Yeah, so what? You think the fans?
So what? So you're gonna Bobby Petrino, the Jacksonville.
The Kahn family. The Kahn family's
now going to ride a motorcycle.
Time out.
Look, Urban Meyer walked out of
Cincinnati Bengals fans in the audience. I want to ask the Bengals fans in the audience.
Me and Joe.
If you could get Urban Meyer, if you could get the Cincinnati Bengals fans in the audience, if you get Urban Meyer for 4 years and you get a Super Bowl championship and he leaves in a heart attack, yes or no?
Well, that's not real because
yes or no.
He couldn't get the Bengals a Super Bowl in 40 years.
Against the idea of Zach Taylor, yes. Against the idea. Here's the thing. If you tell me you can get Urban Meyer right now or Marvin to come back, I'm taking Marvin.
Urban's not going to be there in 36 months. You can lease a Corolla for $199 and he'll be gone before your leases.
I would take Marvin Lewis.
That's great.
I would take Marvin Lewis over Urban Meyer.
Would you take Jason Garrett, who's back in the coaching carousel, over Urban Meyer?
Oh, hell no.
Great job. Hey, he may get the Charger job.
He might.
Hold on. By the way,
won a Super Bowl.
Hold on. I have to share a comment from the chat. Ben Davis is here. He did not next us.
Ben Davis.
He did not next us. Ben Davis says Chris Land is right. The girls from Lexington can outdip any of us.
They've got them chipmunk lips.
Hey, let me just ask him real quick. Even the worst one he ever had, would he let her do it again?
No.
This is a family show, damn it.
I didn't say anything.
You know,
you better get yourself in check before February.
Bad word.
You know, he's got about a 10-minute window come February. He knows.
Yeah. We're going. I'll next him. I will next him.
Here's why I think Urban Meyer will be in Jacksonville. It's because
of $15 million.
All they have to do is pay the man. Bring him in. He'll win.
I don't think they'll pay him. That's my thing. I don't think they'll pay him because I don't think
look, this is not Mike Brown.
I know. The Cons could afford anyone. The Cons could offer enough money to convince any coach in the NFL to come. Why do you think they're not going to pay Urban Meyer? Because they're not going to pay him for him to just turn around and leave in 3 years. They're going to go with somebody. Huh?
That's all he's saying anyway.
So what?
Trust me, that he's going to get to his chest. He's going to have a heart attack.
Yeah,
and then they're going to find out about.
This is the same family. Hold on. This is the same family. This is the same family that was willing to make Chris Jericho at 50 years old the highest paid wrestler in the entertainment industry, and they were right for it. You don't think
they'll pay Urban Meyer?
Chris Jericho's not going to leave him. Urban Meyer's going to leave him.
Look. Urban Meyer's
Nathan, you just actually had me because I didn't think they were going to pay him, and then you brought up Chris Jericho, and I was like, oh yeah, they did do that. They're going to pay Urban Meyer. They're going to take a chance.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho's not going anywhere.
Let's stop. Hold on. Let's talk about Urban Meyer.
And Urban Meyer wants one thing. Urban Meyer wants one more thing, because everybody's talking about Nick Saban's the greatest coach in the history of whatever. Urban Meyer's going to have one thing that Nick Saban don't have: a Super Bowl ring.
Okay, you could say that, but I think we all know that organization isn't putting that kind of run together. I lived in Jacksonville when they got a team. I lived in Tampa.
Different ownership.
Really good. That is a complete shit show, and that.
Hey, they were just in the AFC Championship game 2 years ago. I know the roster is completely different. I'm just saying they could.
I mean, in their third year when Coughlin was there, they beat.
They walked into Heinz Field and beat the shit out of Pittsburgh.
Well, okay. Well, the way you say it, Tomlin's fault.
Anyway. I do.
I mean, it wasn't the players. Tomlin sucked that day. Anyway,
Doug Maroni's better. Or Gus Bradley.
I'm saying this. I am a Jacksonville fan to a point because I used to live there, and my mom's a Jacksonville fan, and I'm happy that they got Josh Allen.
Hey, your mom owns a 4 laps down shirt. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, she does. Lots of my family. That's a growing thing with my family members.
Ship's got his hoodie on,
rocking the gear. We definitely need to get Ryan one. Charge him double, and I will get him the credit card processing to charge him 38% on the transaction.
Damn, son, and a $25 charge for a kickback somewhere.
Hey, if you want shipping and handling,
and you have to buy Gap insurance on your shirt too, or we're not selling it to you.
We're hiring a camel driver from India to deliver that thing.
Oh my God! All right,
Jesus Christ!
All right. So we've officially covered Urban Meyer. So we got a couple more coaching.
Urban Meyer will go to Jacksonville.
We got a couple more coaching carousel items to discuss, and then we're going to get into the picks because Joe Schaefer really wants to tell us who's going to win these games. And Joe Schaefer, I will tell you this:
of all of our guest pickers, Joe Schaefer has the best record. I'm just saying.
I went 13-2.
Well, no. Joe's been picking games in the chat for multiple weeks, and Joe is crushing it. So we're gonna let Joe start. But here's the deal: so coaching carousel. So we've got.
You're not ready for him.
So we've got three jobs that we got to talk about. We've already talked about Marvin potentially going to either the Jets or the Detroit Lions.
What?
Real quick. Dan Mullen has been linked with the Atlanta Falcons job. I think he's a moron if he doesn't take it. I think they pay him. I think it's a potentially good fit. But now we're going to see if Dan Mullen's a real coach or if he's just a really good recruiter who knows how to put an offense together. He's not a what the hell are you talking about? He's not a good recruiter.
Didn't they just sanction themselves?
Yeah. Well, Dan Mullen's
Good job, Florida. We love you. Good job.
Guy.
That way,
so we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out how good of a.
When we're good.
We're gonna find out. Listen. As a Florida guy, now I know why you did terrible on the picks. You got everything backwards. You got everything.
Ryan, hey Ryan, if you would like to participate in the One Chip Challenge for 17 weeks next year, I will formally invite you, and I will, and not only as I will Nathan deliver it, I'll drive my ass to Florida. For your.
I'm in Pittsburgh. Don't go drive to Florida. Go to Pittsburgh. Yeah. If you drive to Florida, Greg Buschmeyer is going to turn your ass around and say he ain't eating that chip, son. Get back to Kentucky.
Well, I'm not coming to Pittsburgh for any reason. Well, I actually would because I do want to see a Pirate game.
You got against Pittsburgh.
Who you asking?
Ryan, in case you haven't figured it out.
Been there?
Other than the Louisville Cardinals. I hate the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, but have you ever been to the glorious, beautiful city of Pittsburgh?
I've seen pictures, and it don't look any more prettier than Cincinnati, pal. You just.
I was gonna say I've always held that Pittsburgh was just like a bunch of steel mills. And
not true. Marty Brenneman says Pittsburgh is the most beautiful city on the Major League Baseball circuit, and he has repeatedly said that PNC Park in Pittsburgh, right there where the Monongahela and Allegheny rivers meet to form the Ohio River. Actually, on the Allegheny, it's not on the confluence. It's actually up the river. Okay, fair enough. Hey, listen, I was rolling and really impressed with myself, and you shit on me. So,
I like San Francisco's part, but anyway.
Tom Brenneman says it's one of the capitals of the world.
No, that's St. Louis.
That's St. Louis.
No, I thought it was Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Oh, that's what it was, Kansas City.
But I infer, because I know a little bit about Pittsburgh, I infer that Pittsburgh is grouped into that too. But we're going to move on.
So, hey, just really quickly, breaking news, Desmond Ritter is going back to UC.
That's not breaking news.
That was earlier. That was
That
earlier.
was way
today.
earlier.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that.
What
Well,
else?
shit on me. My phone just buzzed me
There's
about it.
breaking news that
What else? That's like
kept
breaking news. De'Aaron King's going back to Miami. What the hell else was he gonna do?
Yeah,
Go pro
Desmond
with,
Ritter
like,
will never play quarterback in the
going-
NFL, but I love Desmond Ritter, and he will forever go down as a UC great.
Listen,
I wish
Desmond
Sam
Ritter was
Ellinger went back to
projected- was projected
Texas.
to be a
Hot
second or
takes for
third
you,
round
Mike.
pick.
Hey Nathan, is it true that Marcus Freeman did go to LSU as DC? Did that actually happen?
that was the rumor I heard.
I do
earlier.
not know.
So it's
I do
not
not know
official.
that.
Oh, thank
It's
God.
not official, but it was heavily rumored earlier.
Yeah,
I
I
saw
do
that
not
All
too.
right. Oh, thank God. Because I mean, look, hey, Marcus Freeman had the #1 defense in college football with Cincinnati's talent. Can you imagine what he would do with LSU's?
Oh, it'll be gross.
Yeah.
It'll be gross.
Whoa.
Hey,
Anybody-
they got to
Ryan, if
fix
you-
their
you're an
offense a little
SEC
bit,
guy.
but
I don't care. Wait, listen, you get Marcus Freeman with LSU's talent, you ain't got to score.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
Ryan,
wait,
we
who
got
is it?
next is
You're an
hold on.
SEC guy. Have you ever been to a game at LSU?
My first college football game I ever saw was at LSU at night.
Oh my gosh, that's bucket list for me. Night
Dude,
game at LSU.
It is not overrated. It is 100% worth it. Go to Baton Rouge. Hey,
I
whatever
just
the hell
want
you
the
got to
tailgate
pay,
gumbo. I want
go
the
do it.
Cajun.
No, no,
Hey,
go do it.
Ryan and I got the tailgate gumbo in Gainesville because we had to park
We
the
got
RV with all
breakfast
the
gumbo.
we had
We
to
got
park
breakfast gumbo.
we had to park the RV with all the LSU fans, and they
It
said
was great.
they wouldn't
LSU
talk to us
fans-
Saturday morning, but Friday night and Saturday night they want
Oh, man.
They fed you.
I will
I've
tell you
always
this.
just heard it's the
I will
best.
tell
I
you
got
this.
to do it.
LSU fans do smell like corn dogs, but they are the coolest fans you would ever want. They're awesome. LSU fans are great.
Yeah,
The best
I
thing-
definitely want
best.
to know that.
Yeah.
Hey, I got
LSU
two new newsworthy things that's on subject that what we have been talking about.
Okay,
I
but
hope I already know one of
quickly
them, 'cause
because
I'm
we
gonna
got to get
stop
into these
screaming.
picks.
Hold on. One of them is the 49ers defensive coordinator. He interviewed for the Lions head coaching job. His name is Robert
Saleh.
Saleh. Yeah, I wasn't
And he
S-A-L-E-H.
played for Detroit.
I don't know. He looks like he
did.
could at least
No, he
tackle
did.
as
I'm
good
not
as some of
asking-
those schleps
Chris,
they've
hey Chris, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you, he played for Detroit.
Okay, all right, yeah. So
Detroit, what?
also, there's more than that, but Eric Bieniemy has also interviewed for the Jaguars head coach.
He's going to be a head coach somewhere.
Houston chose not to talk to him too.
Eric Bieniemy is going to get a job. Not only because that he has earned it, and I mean, but he does
He's the
have
best.
Patrick
He's
Mahomes
the
to
best
make him
candidate.
look good. But when you look at the minority head coaching rule changes, you pick up a draft pick for hiring a minority as a head coach. Where
Yeah.
that would make a lot of sense for Jacksonville, knowing they already get the #1 pick in Trevor Lawrence.
I think it's like a 4th or a 5th round or something.
I was
like
gonna
that.
say, what pick do you
No, I
get
think it's
for
like
that?
a
No,
4th,
I do
5th, or
not know
6th.
what round it is, but Jacksonville is in good shape
You get a
with draft
compensatory
pick.
Yeah.
They are in
it's-
good shape with draft pick
With Eric,
position.
look, you're right, Chris. Eric Bieniemy is going to get a job, but the thing with the minority hiring with Eric Bieniemy, it's just an by the way, you also get this.
Yeah, he gets
Not
a job
even
on
an
his own.
incentive.
You know what though? If I'm an
That guy-
owner, I may do it. He also interviewed
Not
for
even
the
an incentive. It's
Chargers
just like go
in
get that.
Atlanta and Detroit. So,
Listen
Houston
to
chose
this
not
rule.
to talk to him too. Houston opted not to request an
So
interview
let's-
with him.
Well, there's a
Listen to
reason.
this.
I think there's a
there's
reason
got to
for
be
that.
some sour grapes there then.
No, I think there's a reason for that. I think there's a reason why Bieniemy may not get the Houston job and he may not get the San Diego job because it may not be offered.
Los Angeles.
Because, well, I'm sorry, Los Angeles. Fuck it, it's San Diego.
Right.
It's the powder blue.
Look,
Let's go.
The reason I think that they will not offer him the job is because they will be giving a pick to somebody in the conference,
Mhm.
and that's why they may not get it.
I get
Mhm.
that, and that would make sense. I probably would hold
Especially-
that. I probably would hold that
especially the
card
Chargers.
too.
It's the division.
Let's see.
Wait,
what
hang on. Who gets the
other-
pick?
So if the enemy gets hired, okay, anywhere, doesn't matter. If the enemy gets hired, then Kansas City gets an extra
Gets-
compensatory pick.
Correct. Correct.
I thought the
And-
team that hired him
No,
got
no,
the
no,
pick.
no,
No,
Kansas
no.
City gets it. KC gets
Are you
It says,
positive?
listen.
That doesn't
listen,
seem
I'm
right.
reading-
That's a
listen,
Positive? I don't
de
think that's true.
incentivizer
Listen,
to hire.
I'm reading this
coach.
right now. It says the gist of the resolution: a team that loses a minority assistant coach to become a head coach, or loses a personnel executive who becomes a GM, will receive third-round compensatory
compensatory pick.
Yeah, we got it.
Compensation.
Found it out.
Thank you.
Phonics.
A team that a team that loses two staff minority
Hip-hop anonymous?
staffers. Yeah, right. Facts. It's been one of the nights. A team that loses two minority staffers to head coach and general manager positions receives 3 third-round picks.
Holy shit! You can build a team with 3
Hold on.
third
I
round
think
picks.
that team that hires him gets a pick too. I'm almost.
They may get a pick too. That's just the
that
first part of the article that I saw.
I think the team that hires the minority coach gets a pick too.
I will say I was high on Bieniemy, but then I started thinking, and I was like, you know who else used to be an offensive coordinator for Andy Reid? Doug Peterson and Matt Nagy, and both of them.
Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl.
So did Mike Tomlin. Haha, you've been counted.
Mike Tomlin won it.
Jordan Hawthorne, you are my guy tonight.
12 years ago. We're talking 12 years ago. We're talking.
I know, but
Philadelphia. You're talking.
Okay, but hang on. Would you rather have Doug
you don't want to
and Mike
count that
Tomlin?
one 12
I'd
years ago?
rather have Doug Peterson. Yeah.
Move on. Pick the games. Pick the game. Mute button.
Ryan.
Hey, hit the mute
right,
button.
so
Hey, Ryan,
Hold on.
I love you for the hot takes, but sometimes the shit you say is just ridiculous.
What about Joe Brady?
I'd rather
Anything?
have
Anybody
Carolina
like Joe
Joe
Brady?
Schaefer.
or Tomlin.
Joe Schaefer, you awake down there?
Joe, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm
we
just-
have drowned
I'm just
you
getting my-
out.
I'm getting my picks sorted out.
No,
All right,
Joe's
so
writing them down. He's like, hold on a
Hey,
minute.
Chris
I got-
Friends, I'm gonna make this quick
No,
for you tonight. My picks are the same as Joe Schaefer's.
That's right.
Hey,
I'm not even gonna
If Joe
think.
picks the Browns, I'm in.
Joe, who do we take? That's
Joe-
how I'm
So,
saying.
so listen. So
Hey, do you see what's behind me?
Hey,
They're not playing.
you got, hey,
Screw that
listen.
up.
If Nathan's gonna go, hey Joe, who's winning, Pittsburgh or Cleveland? He's gonna go, Comet, Asteroid.
yeah. So Joe,
Hey,
we've
Why
got
did you pick Joe Brady?
we've got the wild card playoffs coming up, and Joe and Ship are going to start us off because they've had the least airtime tonight, and I think
It's hard to get a word in with these people.
These what's?
I'm
What do you
obnoxious.
mean, you
I'm a
people?
Florida fan, all right, listen.
Daniel.
So listen.
Don't you lump me into these people?
So the first game we're going to talk about, and I want Joe and Daniel to ship us off here. See what I did there?
I see what you did.
We've got
Hang on,
my
pull up.
team.
Can you pull up the picks from last week?
I can. Yeah, 1 second.
Just
Okay.
see if you can put them up there on the
I
screen.
think Daniel had a good week, and he wants everybody
You
to.
mean
I didn't say that.
you mean
baby.
Joe?
It's all right.
I went 13-2 on
Yeah.
my week.
Yeah, Joe.
All I did was play not to be the slowest person pursued by the lion.
There was
Last
one of them. There was one of them that I just blew, and that was that Dallas game. That New York Giants, they just took me by surprise.
So
We all
and then
blew that,
there's-
didn't we?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we all picked Dallas because I'm a big Dak guy and I have influence on the panel.
He's
But,
got leverage. He's going to get a long-term contract. I'm so excited.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
So
he should.
So let's
Mhm.
talk
Very
game.
good.
Let's talk games this week. So the first game this week is the Colts at the Bills. This is a
Uh-oh.
wild card matchup. You've got the Bills as the 2 seed, the Colts getting in as the 7 seed. Now the Colts are a missed field goal and potentially an overtime score away from being a 4 seed. But that being said, the Titans held on. They won that division, so the Colts are relegated to the 7 seed. So the Colts have to go to Buffalo, instead of hosting Baltimore and Indianapolis. Joe, start us off, man. Who you got in this game?
Buffalo. Next.
Dan?
All right. You know, when I come on, I give you stats, right?
Yeah, Dan's our stat guy, so go ahead.
All right. So let's see. So the Bills have won 7 of their last 8 games. All of them have been by 10+. Now, Frank Reich is the 5th head coach in the last 30 seasons to face the team that drafted him in the playoffs. Do you know how the other 3 did? Let's go 3 out of the 5. You want to guess how the 3 out of the 5 did?
They won.
Lost.
They all lost.
What
The
is
other
losing
sta-
Alex for 300.
So the other thing is interesting is the Bills have lost 6 straight playoff games. They have not. They have not won
back
one.
to win.
Didn't they also
What?
lose 4 straight Super Bowls?
Yeah.
See?
That's all
And my-
ancient history, man.
Fun little stat though: Phillip Rivers has the most games, passing yards, and passing touchdowns among all quarterbacks to never win a Super Bowl, and that will continue because Buffalo will win.
Ooh. So two picks for Buffalo. Chris Land, what do you think?
I'm taking Buffalo. Josh Allen will be my storyline for 2020. Oh, look at that. What the heck's going on? Sorry. Josh Allen will continue to be the guy I look at that I passed up in 5 fantasy football drafts because I refused to take a quarterback too early. And had I taken him in multiple leagues, my team would look completely different. So I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
Okay, Ryan, who you got?
Tatonka.
Well, let's see. Indianapolis plays indoors. Phillip Rivers is from North Carolina, played most of his career in San Diego. It's going to be 35 degrees in Buffalo. Give me the Bills.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And they're going to have fans there. Did you know that? Buffalo will have fans there.
How many?
I did.
I think it's like 7,500 or something like that.
January, give me Buffalo. Give me Josh Allen.
Tailgate Wrestling is back in Buffalo.
Bills all the way.
Jordan?
And 50,000 in the parking lot.
Exactly.
Joe, we took Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I was just making sure I agreed with you before we moved on. I want to change my pick.
The Bills, people maybe forget last year they had Deshaun Watson dead to rights in that playoff game, but he is literally a magician and somehow got drilled by 2 guys and didn't go down. A report came out today from Fox Sports. There are GMs in the league that are saying if we had to pick right now today, Mahomes or Josh Allen has more traits and has shown that he can play at a higher level than Patrick Mahomes, and that Mahomes is no longer in that class by himself. But they're starting to think maybe Josh Allen goes up in there. What, Josh?
Clip that.
Hey! I said that was a report. I didn't say that Josh. I call him Mahomes light.
But you're saying the report.
Now.
You're saying the report. You're emphasizing it, so you're obviously acknowledging it. So nobody else did.
I think he's Mahomes light. I still think Mahomes has a very special quality about him. But Allen is faster, bigger, and they're about the same strength. I just think Mahomes. He has the
it factor. No possible way if we showed up at the park, Josh Allen is getting picked over Patrick Mahomes.
But anyway, I'm going with the Bills, and I think that it's going to come down to the Bills and Chiefs. I'll go ahead and spoil that for.
I agree. Yeah, you're right.
No. Too many goats out there still. You got Drew Brees, baby, and Tom Brady still in the hunt.
But they're in the They're in the NFC. Well, I'm talking about the AFC Championship game. The Chiefs and the Bills will play.
Oh, okay. I thought.
So here's the deal about this game. Josh, go ahead and pick, and then I'm going to tell you what the deal is.
So I'm going to take the Bills because Josh Allen got screwed, and Aaron Rodgers had a lights out season this year. If Rodgers has one of his seasons that he's had the past 3 years, Allen's the MVP this year. But unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers is he's had a great year. He's going to get paid some more money than he's already made. Nathan, I know you're high on Indy. I know you picked them to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl.
I bet he can take that back now.
You can't listen. You can't. He's going to take Indy in this game just because he's going to stick to his horse. But I don't know how you pick Indy. Like Ryan said, they play inside. They're not built for the cold. This Buffalo team, yes, they may have lost so many games, so many play. Like this isn't the same Buffalo team. It's a completely different team. I also think it's going to be Buffalo and Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. And spoiler, I think Buffalo is going to the Super Bowl.
So listen, guys, it's not 1982 anymore, where a big part of football is the weather. These guys are elite.
Yeah, it is.
These guys are.
No, it does. It 100% is.
Nah, dude, it is still. You got to go to Buffalo in January. It's still.
Listen, you mean to tell me if Drew Brees has to go up to Green Bay to play in the frozen tundra, you don't think them ribs are gonna? You think them ribs are gonna be a little more sore in the cold?
That noodle ass arm got to throw
that ramen noodle. Correct. That ramen noodle hits that frozen tundra a couple times. You don't think it's gonna get a little more sore? Stop.
Hey, listen. There's a reason why the look in the NFC East and the AFC North. There's a reason why the big, strong-arm quarterbacks win. Carson Palmer, Ben Roethlisberger, Joe Flacco. You go over to the AFC East. You got the Joe Theismanns. You got the strong arm, big dudes, cold weather, January. It's the Northeast. You got to be able to throw the ball in cold weather through those winds. You can't just have.
You got to be able to take the hits feel different. The hits feel different.
Look, Andy Dalton proved you can't do it with guts and bile. Okay, you can't do it. You got to have a dude. And Josh
Phillip Rivers is not the dude. I can tell you that. He may be the dude. Hey, he may be the dude at popping out babies, but he is not the dude that'll win you a playoff game in the middle of January.
I've seen Phillip Rivers lose enough playoff games.
They come home with a guy like Phillip
Josh Allen. But Josh Allen is a man's man. That's all man right there. And
hey, I like it. I do.
You can have all your analytics. I'll take men.
He played out there in Wyoming with the Cowboys, throwing 90
and that weather was horrible too. So that's a great match.
Yeah. So
coming from Wyoming to Buffalo.
Yeah. So
great match.
That's real cute that you guys are talking all about men and things that you like in men and things like that. But here's the reality. Okay.
Nathan likes guys that don't cuss but has lots of sex.
Indy's defense is better than Buffalo's. And I don't care that Buffalo has a home game. They've got to play in the cold too. Okay? And I promise you, NFL teams don't make their players practice in 10-degree weather. Okay?
So they do.
They don't. They don't, Ryan. They don't, because the players wouldn't do it.
Does.
They wouldn't do it. Here's the thing. Indy's going to go up there, and it's going to be a very low-scoring game. If you want a guaranteed pick, take the under. It's going to be a low-scoring game.
Under over. I care about who wins the football game.
Indy is going to win because Josh Allen is a great quarterback. Josh Allen is a great quarterback. Phil Rivers is not why Indianapolis is going to win this game. So the idea of Rivers, Allen, who's better? Allen. Any retard knows the difference. I don't like to use that word often, but I'm going to. Anybody's going to know.
Is that a Saturday? Is that a Saturday or Sunday game?
That is a Saturday game. So listen,
at game time, it's going to be the high for Saturday in Buffalo is 34 degrees.
Yeah, it's going to be cold. Indianapolis is going to win this game.
Do you remember?
You're taking a dumb team and 34 degrees as a high. I like.
Do you remember when
21?
Do you know when Tennessee?
That's why our friend Nathan
is eating the hot chip. Remember when Tennessee? Hey, remember when Tennessee went and played Green Bay, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's going to be a low-scoring game. It's going to be a low-scoring game." And Rodgers came out and threw 3 touchdowns in like the first quarter. Yeah. Remember that?
Because weather doesn't matter.
Hold on, it was relatively low-scoring because after that, nobody scored all that much. But okay.
It doesn't matter for Aaron Rodgers. It doesn't matter for
guys. Indianapolis is not on the fucking equator. It's cold.
Indoors.
It's indoors. 70 degrees constant.
When you're on the equator, you get sunburns.
Hey,
oh my God. Next. Going next.
All right. What was?
It's Rams and Seahawks.
You made me forget my Google with the equator.
Oh my God.
Okay, so listen. So y'all can text me at 4:30 tomorrow and say you were right. We should have listened. Next game.
If you're right, I'm driving to 11 and to have beers on me.
Hot take right now. Buffalo's winning the damn Super Bowl.
No, they're not. Next game tomorrow, 4:40. Los Angeles Rams in Seattle. 4:40 p.m. on the East Coast. It's a 1 o'clock game in Seattle. And
is Goff back?
No. Walford's going to start.
All right.
No,
Seattle.
I don't think he'll play.
He practiced. I listened to
he's gonna be like 60 or 70%. He's not gonna be full strength. Seattle wins.
The problem isn't the offense in that game for them. It is can Metcalf figure out Jalen Ramsey to open that up? And Jalen Ramsey.
I'm going to start this one.
Jalen Ramsey has been in his ass like preparation H.
Yeah, but I'm going to start this one.
He's the only guy that shuts down Metcalf one-on-one.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Operation Ass Cream?
I'm going to start this one. Seattle wins this game because yes, the stats heavily favor Jalen Ramsey in a matchup with DK Metcalf. But I think Metcalf comes out this playoff, and I think that Seattle does something big. I'm definitely.
Who's going to guard Lockett?
Huh?
Who's going to guard Lockett?
No, he's not.
No, I said who.
Well,
Oh,
who?
Hard,
I don't
I'll
listen.
tell you.
I
Hang
don't
on,
think
I'll tell you
Metcalf.
just a
I don't
second.
think Metcalf.
I got that matchup. Give me just one second.
Okay, while you're
Keep
doing that, I'm gonna keep talking because it's my show. I don't think that Metcalf is the star of this game, but I think he distracts Jalen Ramsey. He minimizes Jalen Ramsey. Seattle wins this game. It's real simple. Seattle wins this game. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that if both teams are 100%, Seattle's the better team, but I think it's a good matchup. I'm not convinced that LA is gonna win this game, so I'm going Seattle. Joe, what do you think?
I think you're right. I'm going with Seattle just because I think all your older quarterbacks that are getting up there in years, Big Ben, Brady, Breeze. I think Ben Roethlisberger. Did I ever say him? Oh yeah, Big Ben. Yeah, all these older quarterbacks. I think they're wanting to go out with a bang like Peyton Manning did.
Yep.
Get that ring.
Agree.
So it's going to be real tough.
None of those quarterbacks play for Seattle, by the way.
Right,
no, but Russell Wilson, he's getting up there.
Okay, fair enough.
He's getting up there.
He's in the middle.
He still might be going to play baseball in 3 years.
He's in the middle.
Nope. You know who that is?
It's Kyler Murray. That's Kyler Murray.
Thank you.
Look,
For the Yankees.
Right. No, y'all, listen. Joe's right.
Thank you, Chris Lamb.
Seasoned veteran. He's not a young guy. He's a seasoned veteran. He wants to go. I agree, Joe. Go ahead.
I got to pee. I gotta go pee. I must have
go.
I'll hold it.
I must have 7 or 8 Dr. Peppers.
It's a sequel from last week.
All brutal. All right, go ahead, Joe. Finish what you're saying.
No, I just they're in Seattle. You know, no fans in the stands, I don't think, but I don't think that matters too much. I just late in the season, I just always like Seattle.
Fair enough.
Rams, I mean, I just don't think they're hungry enough.
Ship, what do you got?
All right. So we talked about Metcalf and Ramsey in coverage. In week 10, Metcalf was targeted twice. He had 0 receptions, 0 yards, and 0 touchdowns. In week 16, he was targeted 2 times, had 1 reception for 11 yards against Ramsey. Dominant defense. The Rams are the 8th team in the last 25 seasons to lead the NFL in scoring defense, total defense, and pass defense in a single season. 5 of the previous 7 went on to the Super Bowl, but those probably didn't use a backup quarterback, as in Wake Forest, John Wofford. Which I still say that John looked decent against Arizona last week. It wasn't an outstanding showing. I think he threw for like 230 and threw a pick, but he didn't look bad. But DK leads the NFL in receiving yards on deep passes this season, but he hasn't had a deep reception since week 12. But I still think it is Seattle over Mr. Wofford.
I like it. Jordan?
Okay.
I'll go next.
Yeah, I said Jordan.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't. I must not have heard you.
He said Jordan as you were saying. I'll go next.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I agree with what Joe was saying about like the Seahawks late in the year / beginning of the playoffs. They really do seem to be one of those teams that like they just. For some reason, whenever I think of Seattle playing in the playoffs, I think of that game where they were getting blown out by Green Bay, and then they did like a fake field goal to score a touchdown, like a 30-yard touchdown, and then they got an onside late that bounced off of Green Bay's helmet. Like they somehow find ways to win these games. They always have fun playoff games, in my opinion. Whether they're blowing the Broncos out or whether they're, dramatically losing to Green Bay last year in the playoffs. It's always fun, So I'm going to go with Seattle just because if you look at the quarterback spot, Russell Wilson, I think, is on his way to a Hall. I don't know. Is Russell Wilson a Hall of Famer right now? Do you guys think?
Yeah.
He's tiptoeing it.
I think he is.
I agree with Chris. He's tiptoeing the line. They give him 5 more years of level play. He's Hall of Famer.
I didn't want to get pooped on and clipped up if I said like Russell Wilson, Hall of Famer, but like Russell Wilson's the Hall of Fame guy.
You just said it. We'll clip that.
There you go. And John Wofford, is that his name? Is that his name? Ship?
Yes, Wofford.
This is a big stage for a no-name guy.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, I think it's going to be a cool story because either Russell Wilson is going to add another playoff victory to his belt, and the Seahawks are going to go deep into the playoffs, or maybe we get the emergence of John Wofford.
Maybe, probably. Not.
Maybe he pulls.
Probably not.
Maybe he pulls the Nick Foles this year.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, I would love to see another Nick Foles story. Like, God does need a new son.
You know what? Does. I really do too. So you two can have something to talk about for the next 12 months.
Hey, remember when we started this show, Chris Lane, and we were shitting all over Carson Wentz, and you got all upset about it?
I'm sure that's making the fucking hot takes. Okay, so we'll just ride that out.
Who's up, Nathan?
It's probably me. I think maybe the only one left.
I think Ryan hasn't picked yet.
Go ahead, Ryan.
All right, so I'm really torn on this one. Like it's kind of I'm kind of torn, but I'm leaning LA. Here's why. So here's why.
I can make this argument. Ryan, go ahead.
Seattle struggles when Russell Wilson, when they can't protect him, and the opposing defense has the athletes to really get after him. That's when Seattle struggles. Mm-hmm. Aaron Donald and company will get after Russell Wilson. The other thing is, it was announced yesterday that Andrew Whitworth will be back for this game.
Greatest offensive lineman in NFL history besides Adrian Nunez.
Shut up.
Not even close.
They're reactivating him for this game to get him back. Jared Goff is probably going to play. I'm going to lean to the Rams, although it's 51-49 for me. It's just that I trust LA's defensive front a lot more than I trust Seattle's offensive front, and I think to me that's just going to be the difference maker. LA just gets after you, and the running game and everything that Sean McVay can do. Give me LA for this one. I don't have a really strong take on this. I just, with getting Whitworth back, getting Goff back, with that defensive front, Seattle's not elite.
No, they're not. They're not the Seattle. That defense isn't the Seattle of old, for sure. And if Jared Goff was for sure full health playing this game, I would take LA. I just don't trust that Goff is going to be the Jared Goff that he should. And that's why, if Wofford starts, it's like I trust. Like you trust LA's defensive line more than you trust. I trust Russell Wilson more than I trust some rookie guy that's never really played.
Agree with you, Josh.
So it's tough. It's a really tough game to pick because
I agree.
If Goff comes out and he's hot, like
I give the coaching edge to LA. I like McVay more than I like Pete Carroll.
Same.
Okay. I like the defensive front better in LA. I like the quarterback better if it's Russell Wilson. Well, no, regardless. I like Russell Wilson better than I do Jared Goff or whoever this kid is that came out of Wake Forest. Hell, I didn't even know he was in. I couldn't tell you where he played in college, and I'm a college football guy. He was a backup at Wake. Who cares?
Well, his name's John Wofford.
Whatever.
Right, Wofford is in North Carolina, so he played North Carolina. He played at Wake Forest. I mean, the line of things.
He's a good friend of mine. There at Wake Forest. I don't care. Look. It's not a strong lean either way. I'm not going to hang my hat on.
Sure, I got you. All right.
Next game.
Chris. Oh, okay.
All right. I won't pick.
Well, you took whoever Joe picked, so we don't need to hear you.
Okay. But I am taking Seattle, but if Goff was 100%, I would take the Rams. The Rams are the number one defense against standard scoring, which basically means NFL scoring. When you look at it, they are the number one defense against opposing quarterbacks. They do know how to collapse the pocket early in dropbacks, which I know people don't look at like advanced analytics like that. But when you have Aaron Donald that can collapse the middle and they have competent people on the edge, that typically leads to rough days against opposing quarterbacks. I would never play Russell Wilson in a daily fantasy because the chance of him busting is much higher than it is him booming, just simply because of that. Now, with that being said, I got a quarterback that really wasn't the reason they beat a subpar Arizona team last week. And when it comes to playoff time, I'm going to take the guy that's been that's been to the big game. So I'm going to take Russell Wilson. But if you for you gamblers, take the under, even though it makes sense to take the over in this game because of Russell Wilson, and you've seen him put up 40 points in Seattle on his own before, play the under.
All right, and the third game for tomorrow is the 8:15 game. It's Tom Brady on the road against the Washington Racisms. Somebody's going to need to start this by saying whether or not Alex Smith is going to be the guy in this game. I'm going to let Jordan start.
Wait, hold up. I got a perfect nickname for the Washington whatever they are.
The Racisms.
No, I got it. I got the perfect name for him. Daniel Snyder just hadn't figured it out yet. Ready? You ready? The Washington Conductors.
Okay.
You know your history? Do you know your history?
Yeah.
Like train conductor?
No, kind
like
of. Where?
Okay,
listen. Okay, hold up. Let me educate you a little bit. The Underground Railroad went through that area. And the people who went into the slave states and brought slaves out were called conductors on the Underground Railroad. It's an homage to the Underground Railroad. It's a perfect name for the Washington football team.
Hey, you know what? I actually like that.
Make them the Sentinels.
That actually is a cool name.
Make them Shane Falco's team and make them the Sentinels.
I like that too, but I think the conductors.
Bring back the Oilers.
There's no oil in DC, brother.
It don't matter.
Hey,
there's oil in Iraq.
You know what though? There's plenty of greasy folks, so I'm sure they can come up with something.
I'm sure There you go.
And you know what? Our man Joe Schaefer's on his way there. He'll be in DC in no time. So
I once took a private jet to see the Bengals and the
I once made up a story for my friends too to feel important.
I can send you pictures if you'd like to see the private jet.
Yeah, are they drawn with Crayola or Rosarts?
No, they're actually pictures from from the Lexington Airport.
Jet, it's Crayola. We don't cheap out.
I promise you. I know. Look, I didn't pay for the private.
I know you didn't.
I promise.
Okay,
I promise you, but my brother did. And my brother, I have a brother that lives in DC. And then they're not actually brother, but like their father like kind of took me in because my grandmother raised me, so we call each other brother. But anyway, they're super mega rich, and we went to see the Bengals play. It was RG3's first game as a Washington Redskin, and Mohamed Sanu had a perfect quarterback rating because they ran Andy Dalton on the first snap of the game into the slot. Yep. And Sanu threw a bomb to start the game. Yep. And I was there, and we challenged like 29 Redskins fans to a fight, and they did not want to do it. There was like 7 of us, and we were like, we will fuck all y'all up. Let's just go. And they sat down.
You went full Southern with all y'all.
I said all of you. I looked at them and said all of you. I did the same thing in Chicago against Michigan State when Kentucky played, when Draymond Green played for Michigan State. We bought tickets on StubHub. They stuck us right in the middle of Michigan State, and they wanted to fight us from the very beginning. And after about 10 minutes, we were like, well, let's just fucking fight. I'm tired of listening to you.
My first college football game was at LSU. It was Florida at LSU. I was in the student section. I was not wearing orange and blue. I was wearing purple and gold, wore my Latin Club jersey. I wasn't that brave.
Right. I feel you.
Not the LSU.
We did not know. I will tell you the Michigan State game, we were like 20 rows from Jalen Rowe and Digger Phelps and all that. So we thought we were like, in the cat's pajamas right there.
Hold on. Were you trying to fight Digger Phelps? Because my money's on Digger.
Man, I'd fuck that old dude up.
Family show, damn it.
All right, I can't.
Listen. Anyway. Washington versus Tampa Bay. Y'all discuss. I'll be back. Jordan, start us off.
I'm in the spirit of Chris Land and his 7 funds taking on 3 dozen hillbillies from DC. I'm going with and in the spirit of Ryan calling them the conductors. It's the little train that fucking could. I'm taking Washington in this game to win. I am taking them straight up. I think that they'll go. Alex Smith is going to play well enough, but this game's going to be a story of a Tampa Bay offense that I think is a little bit soft. Isn't the word, but it's very.
No, that's the word for it.
Yeah,
everybody
it
loves
seems like a
right
soft
now.
offense, and it's like it's Antonio Brown and it's Mike Evans and it's Chris Godwin, and everybody's either raped somebody or they're hurt, and then it's Tom Brady in the backfield or under center, and Washington's defense is going to give him fits, man. I'm telling you, that's how you mess. Hey, if you can't beat an old quarterback by outsmarting him, you out-hit him, and they're going to put Brady on the ground a few times.
Brady's biggest defeats are against what types of defense?
I was going to say, the people that put pressure on him and hit him in his chin. That's who beats Tom Brady.
You're all over it. I'm not agreeing with you, but I think you're all over it.
And since there's no chip on the line, I can also, pick a little bit with my heart and less with my brain. But I'm telling you, I just have a feeling that there's gonna be an upset this weekend. I think Tampa Bay is in perfect position.
Tom Brady worse than me. All right, listen.
What'd you say?
Nobody hates Tom Brady more than me. All right, that's it.
I love Brady.
Nathan, I love the shorts.
No, hey, those aren't even the shorts.
Hang on.
Those aren't.
Now do it. Now say it again. Short shorts on. Is he
say it again.
Those aren't his short shorts.
Love the shorts.
No, those aren't the short shorts.
No, those aren't. They go higher.
I need to do that again.
Yeah,
no, they go higher.
I'm telling you, his short shorts look like a pair of compression
Those are
shorts.
swim trunks. Are those swim trunks?
Say,
Look at his
pool?
those are short shorts right there.
Oh, look at him thighs.
Hey, are those
hey, you know
copper
what?
fit?
You know what?
Are those your legs, or are you riding a chicken? What the hell's going on?
Do you have your copper fit on for that knee?
Hey Nathan, I saw a new commercial over the
Brett
weekend.
Favre says you'll be good as new.
Copper Fit now makes a face mask, so I figured it might help. It might help everything. If you wear the Copper Fit socks, the Copper Fit knee guards, everything, and then a Copper Fit mask to complete it. You'll be all coppered up, my guy. You'll be.
And the joke here is that Nathan has a bum knee and he wears a knee brace when he plays softball.
Yeah,
and I saw him in that, and I've had one at bat in men's slow pitch softball. It was a make-a-wish thing.
Yeah, that's because
Did you grab out to the
Jordan
pitcher?
got
like 20 Olo to the pitcher.
Jordan got a make-a-wish because of his speech impediment, and his make-a-wish was to play slow pitch softball at Armco Park in Lebanon.
20 roller to the pitcher.
He did.
Hey, the pitcher.
Listen,
Did you leg it out, Jordan?
I legged it out.
No,
but I
was in jeans.
I was in jeans.
He legged out of
This is the greatest show we've done all
He
year.
He was in jeans and Converse sneakers.
No,
he was legging out of his jeans.
Did you have the?
I was in jeans that were too big, and I was in Air Jordans that I did not expect to play.
Wearing the New Balance Monarchs.
He did have the common courtesy to look at the pitcher and say, "My bad." After he hit the 20 roller to him, he did apologize. He's like, "My bad."
Josh, did he do?
No, you guys aren't telling the story.
Shut up, Jordan.
I hit a trolley. I hit a 20 roller to the pitcher, and then I screamed, "Middle's open, boys!"
I was gonna use the middle open. Damn it!
It's one thing to light a pitcher up at his ankles, to hit an 18 roller at him that he could lay down and crawl to, as Jordan's tripping down the first base path as he's running out of his pants. Oh, my fault, pitch. My bad. The pitcher should have looked at you and said, "No, you're good, bud. My fault. My fault, my guy."
I barehanded it to throw you out.
Right? I could have picked that up. I could have kicked it.
I picked it up like a
That
bug.
might be the only more human in this entire chat.
I'm gonna pick this game.
What is
and
the chat saying about our
unlike
idiot?
my brainless brother,
the chat has gone
here,
quiet because they just don't even know.
Unlike my brainless brother over here, I'm taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because yes, I do think that Washington has the defense that could give Brady fits. I don't think they have the offense that can score more than 10 points. So you're going to have a couple, deep shots from Brady. You're going to have the deep shots. They're going to get some freaky plays that, Antonio Brown breaks loose for a 60-yarder. Something's going to happen. I just don't trust Washington's offense to score enough points in this game. I watched them against some abysmal defense in Philadelphia, and they barely closed the game out when Philly was clearly tanking, trying to throw the game. So the Giants didn't make it in the playoffs.
I watched them against an elite Pittsburgh defense. They went all up and down the field.
See, it's just and that's the NFL.
That was Mike Tomlin's fault. That was Mike Tomlin's fault.
Mike
Tomlin's fault.
Tomlin.
That's what makes
If he could develop a game plan, he might win a game every now and then.
Jesus.
So listen, this is real simple.
Cheers, y'all.
Alex Smith, comeback player of the year. I love him to death.
He beat out Alex Smith.
Riverboat Ron is my guy. I'm proud of what he did this year. But Washington is 7-9, and Tom Brady is still the motherfucking GOAT.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's winning.
Thank you.
Give me Tampa. As much as I want Washington to win this game, I want Washington.
Listen, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
Tom Brady, baby, let's go.
Get another one. I don't.
Would be so happy to be wrong.
Hey, if I'm Tom Brady,
let's talk about entertainment value, and that's why we're fans.
Yeah.
As much as we would love to say Tom Brady gets knocked out,
yeah.
Week 2 of the playoffs are better with the Bucks in it than without them.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? Tom Brady, if I'm
without Antonio Brown slapping a bitch and getting a kid, whatever.
Yeah, I know that guy that he got arrested with for that.
He lives with Brady now.
Hey, that's the NFL equivalent of saying, "Hey, Aaron Hernandez, whatever room Tim Tebow picks is where you're staying."
That's exactly what I was going to say.
You won't catch no charges that night.
An upstanding citizen here. Joe's trying I don't know who these people are. I don't.
If you room with Tim Tebow,
I've been quiet.
Don't even question you. That's how good he is.
All right, Ship, bring us your stats, Ship.
All right, so this is Tom Brady's 18th playoff berth, but it is in fact his first as a wild card team.
Okay.
I heard
Washington,
Buffalo, Jets,
Miami
all suck, so they get to win the division every year.
Did you say Buffalo sucks? Because I'm pretty sure you picked them to win the damn Super Bowl and Josh Allen to win the MVP.
No, that was me.
That was not me.
Oh, sorry.
But I'm saying until this year, which
fair enough.
Go
ahead, Chip.
Until this year,
Go ahead, Chip.
all 3 of those teams suck.
Hang on, I'm waiting for him to finish.
Jesus Christ!
Go
Shut up.
ahead,
Go ahead,
Chugging.
Chip.
Shut up!
Chug
Why
while I
keep
talk.
talking?
Chug. Tom Brady has more career playoff wins than the Washington franchise. And Alex Smith is the first Washington quarterback to win 5 straight starts since Robert Griffin in 2012 when he won the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Now the football team is 5-1 with Alex Smith as a quarterback. They are 2-8 for the rest of the season. The trouble, though,
or after they released the PUD from Ohio State.
I think that's all of it included because he started a little bit, got hurt. Dwayne started, then they kicked Dwayne, then he came back when he was healthy.
Then they deleted him, right? They kicked him off Twitter.
No, that was Trump. Trouble out east. My last stat: Tom Brady is 1-3 against NFC East teams in the playoffs. He's lost 3 straight. Is the only division where Brady has a losing playoff record. But I think that'll become 2-3 because I pick Tampa.
Good stuff.
That's right.
All right. Joe?
You know, a picture's worth 1,000 words, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to save my words.
There you go, right there.
I love it.
That's the GOAT right there.
I love it. Joe Shea for the
love
man.
I got to respect it. It's like Notre Dame. You ain't got to love them. You got to respect it.
Listen, I've been on the field for a game at Notre Dame against USC, and they do it right up there.
It's like Pittsburgh Steelers. You ain't got to love them, but you got to respect it.
Stop.
Except Mike Tomlin.
No, not really. You see what I got behind me?
I was just reminded that it's a family show, so forget that guy, Mike Tomlin. Nobody wants that.
God.
Yeah, but we got to ban that name. We can't say it's like a cuss word. We can't say that name.
But we say cuss words, so what's that mean?
What?
Right, MT.
Yeah. So who hasn't picked this game yet? Josh, you did. Jordan
already did.
Everybody picked.
Chris,
I'm taking Tampa. I will.
Joe, did we interrupt before you actually got your pick?
Tampa Bay.
Give me Tampa.
I think Tampa just had more weapons, but another hot take. I'm going to tell you a Vegas trend that I follow. In primetime games, 70% plus will bet over. So if you bet under in all Sunday night and Monday night and playoff games, you're going to win somewhere between 65 and 70% of those bets. Tom Brady, I know, is on fire. Number one, my best bet of the week is under, I think it's 295 or 290. It fluctuates. Under 290 yards passing for Tom Brady.
Under. 100% under. You want to win money, you take that
under. He's not putting 300 up. No. They don't want to play that game there.
They don't win if they try to play that game. That's
right.
the problem.
So also under in any rushing stat on Tampa's side. But the bet of the week, if the game script goes right and Tampa gets up, JD McKissick, no matter what it is going to exceed the total number of receptions because they will spread it out. They'll get away from the run game. McKissick is a check down running back. Alex Smith is a check down quarterback. So if the game script goes according to plan, McKissick in catches and receiving yards is the bet of the week. Yeah. I'm probably going to put $300 to $400 in some sort of situation because I do believe Tampa is going to get ahead, and I believe that you will make the game script fall right into your hand, and you may be cashing both of those tickets by the beginning of the fourth quarter.
I like it, Chris. I like it a lot.
Sir. I do a lot of research on that shit.
Yeah, look, when Pittsburgh played Washington here at Heinz Field, J.D. McKissick ate their lunch that night, and it was all check down stuff. It wasn't rushing.
Check down Charlie's. It works.
Yeah, it was receiving yards, and they were matching up McKissick on the linebackers. He was faster, other than T.J. Watt, he was just faster than everybody else, and I just like it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm all over unders in that game because the stat totals and all of their prop bets are based on the fact that Tom Brady has had 2 games against Atlanta and another game against Detroit. And so the way that these stat makers and odds makers usually set that up is over the last 5 games. Tom Brady's went over 300 for the last 5 games. That's why his number is that high against that.
I don't like the high number for Brady against Ron Rivera's game.
No, I don't think that's the way that game goes. I know the sexy pick is the Bucks, but the stats with that defense is going to be if Tampa gets ahead, they're not going to keep throwing 35-yard bombs to Mike Evans down. But if you had to pick a receiver, Godwin slides into that slot, which is the most efficient number versus Washington's defense when it comes to receiver. The slot receiver, which they will probably put Godwin into that situation and maybe move Antonio Brown out wide on the strong side. Yeah. So Godwin could be a huge number, could be a huge day in that game too.
Yeah. Right.
For you, I listen
right now, just looking at Hollywood Casino, like at the sports book out there, they have total receiving yards by player. JD McKissick is at 31.5 right now.
It's a lock, son.
That's a lock. That's
put your lock. Even if it's close,
that's a mortgage bet right there.
It's a lock. Yeah. I think I'm going to Hollywood probably around 10 o'clock tomorrow. I may put a couple of stacks in my pocket. I may not bet it all, but I'm going to find some value and some home runs. And McKissick over is my largest bet of the day, followed by Brady under the passing yards.
To me,
you guys are smoking something.
Well,
Joe, you're always right. So tell me why I shouldn't bet before I go give him my money.
You're higher than a Georgia pine.
Yeah, baby, give it to me.
No, I'm not, but I got time.
But to me, there are 2 difficult games to pick this weekend. The one we just picked, LA and Seattle, that's a difficult game just because of the unknowns. This is the other one that's hard to pick.
No, the next one is.
I want to be wrong.
The next one is.
Baltimore, Tennessee.
Tell us, Joe.
That's That's the tough one.
Good segue, Joe. At 1:05 on Sunday, Baltimore goes into Nashville playing the Titans. Joe, what do you think?
I think Tennessee historically gives Baltimore trouble.
Beat them last year.
Yeah. Right. I'll tell you why in a second.
Beat the shit out of them last year.
I'll tell you why in a second.
They crushed.
Yeah.
You gonna talk about number 22?
We all are dumb. Joe is smart. Let him talk.
Sorry.
I just, they how many points did they put up against Cincinnati?
We can look.
Who, Baltimore? Baltimore, Tennessee.
Yeah. Baltimore. How many points did Baltimore put up against Cincinnati?
It was like 20.
So like third.
According to Ryan, they have a great coach, so we're cool. Let's check it out.
It was 27-3.
27-3.
Mm-hmm.
And they were out there showboating. I don't. Let's see. I'm going to go with Tennessee, just because I want to see Baltimore get hit with that twisted T, baby.
Let's go. You know what? I got something for that, Joe. I'm going to follow you up, and I'm going to say Tennessee's going to beat Baltimore. You don't stop Derrick Henry in the playoffs. You don't stop that mangled mess of a dreadlock. And damn it, they're going to launch a 24-ounce twisted T right in that mouth. And I'm telling you right now, Tennessee is the lock of the week. Book it down for the Titans.
Shasta Big Nasty.
Let's go.
Hey, Shasta.
Mom, the meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
Wow, this went holy crap, really fast. Oh my gosh.
Boy, the booze is just kicking in. Look, I've almost
Joe went from analysis to, you know what, I want to see them sons of bitches beat.
Why we love Joe Shea.
That's right.
Benny
showboating and everything. You know what? I just want to see them get the ass kicked. I'm taking
I want Tennessee to beat.
They went from respectable to fan.
I want Tennessee to beat Lamar Jackson like he stole money from their mom.
He went to Louisville. Screw that guy.
I want to see Lamar Jackson get beat so bad he asks for seconds just in the hope that they stop.
Listen, I'll pick this next. Listen, Joe, I know you said this is a hard game to pick. This is not a hard game to pick. This is Tennessee all the way. Mike Vrabel, this is Tennessee all the way. Tennessee is going to absolutely destroy Baltimore. That is a one-sided football team. Lamar Jackson, listen, he's a project. He's under development. And I think eventually he'll be a serviceable NFL quarterback and stand in the pocket and throw darts. He ain't there yet. Ryan Tannehill, since leaving Miami, has been a really good quarterback. And when you got Derrick Henry,
I got a stat for that.
When you got Derrick Henry running that football, Derrick Henry is a defensive end running the rock. He is going to pound Baltimore. It's not going to be close. It's Tennessee all day.
Shep, what do you got? Give us your stats, Bubba.
Son of a
stat of the day.
Hang on, I'll give Shep a break. Hang on, I'll let
Shep, give me a break. It just reset.
He's got to get his stats. So I'm taking Tennessee in this game. And the reason that Baltimore struggles with Tennessee is Baltimore likes to move the ball. They like to score the points. Tennessee likes to control the clock, run the ball Nathan mentioned it earlier. We all like talking about grown men on this show and how much we love them. Derrick Henry is a grown ass man. Yes, listen, those stiff arms, I can't remember who he stiff armed earlier this year.
Josh Norman.
Where he just threw him to the side. That man's career is done. He's done.
The best tweet I saw all year long was that stiff arm said, "Come on, man, that guy's got a family."
Right? Right? It's disrespect. That is a NFL, an elite athlete on the football field, and he threw him to the side like he was a peewee football player. Man. Just bye. Listen, Tennessee's going to win this game. Tennessee has the recipe. Well, they don't really have the exact recipe that you want. They don't have a great defense, but it's going to be cold. They're going to run the ball. I think Derrick Henry's going to have about 200 yards in this game. Lamar Jackson can't score if he's standing on the sidelines. Give me Tennessee. I don't know if it's a blowout, but I think Tennessee wins it.
Could you imagine? You imagine if Tennessee had halfway of a defense? How dirty would they be?
Damn minds.
If they had a pass rusher.
Ship's turn.
Hey, if they had like a TJ Watt or a Aaron Donald, that defense, they'd be gross. They'd be gross.
I got a couple for this one because this one's all over the place. So look, the Ravens averaged 14.5 points in 2 playoff games with Lamar Jackson as a starter. They averaged 30.6 in the regular season with him as a starter.
There you go.
Feels like that number cut in half.
This is the 5th meeting between the Titans and the Ravens in the postseason. The road team is 4-0 in all previous matchups. Wow. Derrick Henry averages 126 yards in the playoffs in his career. That's the second most in playoff history with a minimum of 5 games.
Who's first?
I don't know. I don't have that stat.
Because whoever beat that is beast mode ass.
Exactly. So Lamar,
it may be beast mode.
I got 2 for you right here for the quarterbacks because I told you I had a stat about Tannehill. But first, Lamar. Lamar is the 5th reigning MVP to get a playoff rematch against the team to defeat him in the playoffs the previous season. MVPs lost each of the 4 previous such matchups. So he's lost again, even when he faces the team again. But my stat is Ryan Tannehill. He has more touchdowns and a higher passer rating than the last 2 NFL MVPs since he became the Titans starter in Week 7 of 2019.
Yep. Coaching.
Exactly. Plus, I like Mike Vrabel. I turned on to Mike Vrabel last year when he was facing Belichick in the playoffs, and he found that loophole with the punt game.
Yeah,
that made me happy as shit. I was laughing my ass off.
He Belichick.
Belichick. Vrabel he's becoming a technician too. Exactly. So I'll take Tennessee as well.
So real quick to back Ship up, he is correct. Derrick Henry of running backs with 5 or more starts in the NFL playoffs is second all time, 126 yards. There is one running back that has 4 playoff starts that does average more yards, and that is Arian Foster, 4 games with Houston.
Woo!
He does not
I would
meet
have
the
never
qualification.
guessed that.
Number 1, 142.5 yards per game with how many starts in the playoffs? Of course, I'm pulling this from my memory because I have this memorized. 8 playoff games, 142.5 yards per game is Mr. Touchdown himself, TD Terrell Davis from Denver.
Wow, that's a good compensation between the 2 of them.
Number 1 all-time in rushing yards per game in playoff games. It is Denver, number 30.
Were you questioning my stats, by the way? You said Ship is right, by the way. Like, were you questioning my stats?
No, I was confirming your
stats. Somebody asked who number 1 was.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Sometimes people with great intentions have bad credit and need a cosigner, and that's all I was doing.
Here's your stat. You ready for this?
Yeah.
What team gives up the most rushing yards per game in the NFL this year?
Baltimore Ravens.
Pittsburgh, because of Mike Tomlin.
It's actually Baltimore, and I knew that.
Okay, I was close.
And that is why it's not going to be close. The damn twisted T's are coming out, and Derrick Henry's going to twist that defense in half, and Derrick Henry might actually rush for so many yards that he bumps his average and takes the lead from Terrell Davis.
Yeah.
You remember when Baltimore used to have a defense where they wouldn't allow a 100-yard rusher in consecutive games for weeks and weeks?
They also didn't have a 100-yard
pass. Oh, that's right. I forgot, Ryan. You remember that.
Yes.
But I'm just saying how far they've come. I remember that.
As much as y'all might want to believe that Cincinnati and Pittsburgh or Ryan and Chris's best rivalry in all sports, it's really the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers.
I don't believe the Bengals are the best rivalry in anything. Ever.
The Bengals,
somebody call Vontaze Burfict.
Unless it's Mike Brown versus the city of Cincinnati. Right. That might be the greatest rivalry in sports.
Look, Cincinnati has a rivalry with Pittsburgh, kind of like the hammer with the nail. Okay, it's fine.
Not a rivalry unless the other team wins occasionally.
Vontaze Burfict's shoulder versus Antonio Brown's head.
Basketball versus UK basketball.
Listen. I think that if you're going to charge Antonio Brown for his crimes over the last couple of years, you must charge Vontaze Burfict as a conspirator because he gave that man CTE.
Vontaze got arrested in Vegas, I think, a couple of weeks ago.
He did.
Vontaze Burfict came.
I can even laugh about it now because I know how much of an asshole Antonio Brown is. I've met the guy. He's a complete ass.
Vontez Burfict came across the middle and said, "Sir, if you'll allow it, I will deliver to you a fresh case of CTE." And Antonio Brown said, "Bring it to me." And they hit so hard.
I felt that in my living room.
Dude, I swear to God,
hit.
it was the hardest hit.
Oh my God!
That was in the playoff game, right?
Yeah,
it was. That is the game.
Keith Rivers,
there.
Game.
Keith Rivers was saying, "Damn, that
signed
looked like
off
it hurt."
on the game.
Right? But you listen, Keith Rivers deserved it because he's running up the field like this, and here comes Hines Ward across the field with a shoulder lowered like a linebacker because he played two ways up until high school.
Yeah.
You know, and so
he's at Georgia. Are you kidding me?
Fuck
Well,
Hines
that's true.
Ward. I watched him play at Georgia against Kentucky. Fuck Hines Ward.
Hey,
Sorry.
Thank you.
Look,
Thank you
family
for that.
show. Family show.
Family
When you're
Forget Hines Ward.
when
Go
your
away.
middle linebacker is whining because a wide receiver hit you too hard, come on, man.
I
Yep.
get
Right.
it, but it was a huge.
Right, it's the NFL.
It
Hey, it's
was
the
a
NFL.
cheap shot on the
No,
blind
it wasn't.
side.
It wasn't a cheap shot.
Yes,
wasn't a
it
cheap
was.
shot.
Nah,
It wasn't like they squared up and went eye
cheap
to
shot.
eye.
wasn't a cheap
It
shot.
was a full run down the sideline. Eat this.
Hey, he was about
shoulder
that far behind the running back. About that. far.
I get
Wasn't
it.
very much out.
Hey, are you going to defend Hines Ward and not?
Yeah,
be a
I
cheap
am.
shot
Yeah, I
artist?
am. Yes, I
He's
am.
the fucking biggest cheap shot artist
Hey,
and play
hey,
wide receiver.
yes.
Family show.
Yes.
The history
Yes.
of the NFL.
But
And
Hold on,
you can
hold on,
defend it
hold on.
because you loved it.
hold on.
He is
Yeah.
the biggest cheap shot artist to ever play wide receiver in the
Hey,
NFL.
he hit Ed
And the
Reed
only reason
head
you
on.
like him is because he wore your team's uniform.
And if you wore your team's uniform, you'd like him
Of
too.
your players out, you would hate him too.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
if he was on your team, you'd love him.
yes, but
Christian Leitner. I hate Christian Leitner, but had he signed with Tubby Smith, man, I'd
Love
have
it.
Rick Pitino.
Absolutely.
I
Hey,
would
listen,
love that dude.
My favorite player in the
And
history of the
Hines
NBA
Ward
is Bill Lambier.
is a
Okay, that's
huge-
all you got to know.
Hines Ward was a huge cheap shot
No,
artist.
he wasn't. He hit Ed Reed head on.
That is
hey,
bullshit.
hey, here's the
They
thing.
changed
Here's
the
the thing.
rules. 'cause he
Hold
did
on,
so
hold on.
many
Time
cheap
out,
shots.
time out. Hines Ward.
Yeah, there you go.
Hines Ward was a cheap
We got
shot.
Michael and Bruce.
Hines Ward was a cheap shot artist, but Hines Ward hit on Keith Rivers was 1,000,000% clean, and it's on
Legit.
Keith Rivers, and then we're moving on.
It
So-
was rule.
Who
as
did?
the rule was
Okay, wait a minute.
at
If,
that
so if you're going to
time.
admit that Keith
Correct.
Rivers shot was legit, who did he hit that was cheap?
Everybody, he never got a flag because it's Hines Ward.
He
They
never-
done-
look, He hit
Come
Ed Reed
on.
head on.
I know you watch Remember the Titans, right? Come on,
In the
Coach.
Bears and the
We're
Saints
not
after this
throwing a
game.
flag on the
Yeah.
I think we got
quarterback.
Bears and Saints.
No
It's
more
almost
than they're
11:30.
throwing a flag
Hold on,
a
time
wide
out, time out.
receiver.
Jordan, we need your pick for the Tennessee Baltimore.
Oh, I need more whiskey.
Swallow, baby. Swallow it.
Oh,
Get
bud,
it down.
get it
Don't worry
down.
Hey,
about it.
Daddy's
he
got
ain't-
some
hey,
chicken
Jordan, don't you
quesadilla
make
in
a
his
mess
mouth.
with that.
Hey,
Jordan,
he
already
ain't no
did it up.
quitter. He sure as hell ain't no spitter either. He's
Jordan,
swallowed.
Jordan, I
I ain't
worked
never,
hard to
I
get
ain't
that
never
up.
spit out a
Don't you
piece of
spit
food
it.
in my life, boy.
Oh, hey,
Jordan, hey, I worked hard to get it up for you, baby.
especially
Don't
that
you
San
fucking-
Francisco round steak.
It's getting late.
Jordan,
Hey, it's
I'm
11-12. It's
I'm
fast.
going with
Yeah, no.
Tennessee. I'm going with Tennessee. It's as
Jordan's
simple as
like,
that. I
I'm
agree with
going
what
down
everybody
to
said.
the- I'm going with Tennessee.
Baltimore is going to win that game.
next
Everybody
game,
fun.
next game,
Next.
next game.
Let me go first so I can eat my dinner.
It's the 4:00 game
Dinner.
on Sunday. Chicago at the Saints. Ship, give us your stats, Bubba.
All right, real quick. I'll make them quick. The Bears are the 9th team to finish 500 and earn a wild card berth. The previous 8 are 2-6. Now, funny thing, the Bears have only defeated one team with a winning record this season. Can you name that one team they beat?
Minnesota. Oh wait, that's right.
Wrong.
They didn't have a winning record.
Oh.
At least our
Did
quarterback
they
has
beat-
both
One
his
team.
knees.
Did they beat the Saints?
Nope.
No.
Crickets?
I don't want to Google it. That's cheating.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Who was
don't
it?
Google it. Who was
Tampa Bay.
That's right. God bless it.
Son of
I was
Drew
Drew
Brees.
That's why I don't remember that.
Drew Brees is 5-0 with 10 passing touchdowns versus the Bears over the last 10 seasons.
That ain't happening. That ain't happening.
The Bears have lost 6 straight games versus the Saints. The last one they had was in Week 15 of 2008.
It's
And under the
time
bright
for that
lights-
change.
The Saints are one of 3 teams to average 28-plus points a game in the playoffs since 2006.
Go ahead, Josh. Pick them.
No, Chip's up. He gets
Go
that.
ahead.
Chip's up first.
Well, hopefully Breeze gets hurt so Taysom Hill can play because I just can't stand Breeze. But I'll still take the Saints because I don't like the Bears.
Josh, I hate the Bears, and I'm taking the damn Bears
hate
because
the Bears
Drew Brees has a
well.
noodle on, and that's it. Josh, I need to eat my dinner. I need to eat my dinner, damn it.
Listen, let me tell you something.
It's playoff time.
The only
As
way
the-
the Bears
Exactly.
win this game is if Jameis Winston's playing quarterback for the New Orleans Saints.
Yes.
Jordan and Josh, if you had to eat the chip, would you make that same pick today?
No, but guess what, Chris?
I guess
I-
not, because you
as
took
the-
it tonight, but you've been
as
smart
the-
for 17
Listen,
weeks.
as the reigning, defending pick'em champ of our
You're
4
not
laps
defending
down.
shit. We haven't started year 2 yet.
Well, I'm defending next year.
You're
Technically,
winning
we're
now.
moved on. Listen.
Brian,
I'm
give
taking the
that dude a
Bears.
drink. Can you
I'm
pass
taking the Bears because Drew Brees has a godforsaken noodle arm.
And?
If Khalil Mack, I'm sorry.
They have a guy named Alvin Kamara that's in the backfield that kills people.
I've never heard of her.
You know what?
Never heard of her.
Come on. Don't give me
am
that
going
fan.
to get my
You're talking about like
pharmaceuticals.
it's like Nathan guys
just
talking
put
about
me
Troy
down for the
Polamalu.
Saints.
It's like, oh, never heard
Put
of
the
her.
rest of these ignorant people in a home. I will
By
be
the way,
right
the
back.
Bears have the worst. Made the playoffs for the first time with not even a top 10 scoring defense. Their defense is terrible.
I'm
Thank
taking
you.
It's
the Bears.
nowhere near what Chicago used to be.
God's- You know what, Daniel? Just school these fools. I'll be back.
Give me the Saints.
At least you like my stats. Thank you,
Saints. We don't need no analysis on this shit. Give me the Saints.
Joe.
I'm picking the upset. We said there's an upset. We said there's an upset this week. This is the upset. The Saints have been known to choke it in the playoffs.
I
So
already picked it. I picked LA.
You know what? Y'all can have Mitchell Trubisky on your team next year. There you go. There's your quarterback next year.
no,
You get to have him.
No.
Yeah, you picked him. You get to have him.
No.
There you
I
go.
didn't pick me. I did not
you-
say
you
Mr.
picked the
Trubisky
Bears.
was going to win this game. I said Drew Brees was going to lose this game.
No. You get to have him. It's okay.
Nope.
They don't need Drew Brees or Taysom Hill.
JoJo, who are you taking?
Drew Brees. It's playoff time. He's getting old. Might be his last season. He's going out with a bang. I picked him to go to the Super Bowl.
Woo! Hot take. Hot
There's a big
take.
one.
I'm gonna
Look,
remember that.
Drew
I'm gonna remember
Brees,
that.
Sean Payton, give me
Right.
that defense.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Yeah, listen. I just want to say I love all of you guys for being here tonight. Thank you for that. But anybody that thinks that Drew Brees is going to the Super Bowl, man, I'm gonna have
Breezy, baby.
I'm gonna have a hard time voting for you in 3 years, Joe. I'm gonna be honest
Write
with
it
you.
down.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Joe,
No,
you
you know
get
what?
to
Here's the thing.
national
Here's the
level
thing.
before I can vote
Here's
for
the
you,
thing.
but
New
Joe,
Orleans is gonna
He deserves it, doesn't he?
who Drew Brees?
Come on.
Joe, I used
Yeah.
to have an address in Lebanon. Can I still register?
If you register,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
If you register,
Doesn't
as a
matter
It doesn't
Democrat,
matter
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, you can go to different states. You can go to Nevada and vote in Ohio.
yeah.
Send him in, baby.
Hey, and guess what? If you don't exist, you can vote in Georgia.
Exactly.
So listen. So I'm just gonna say this: New Orleans is gonna win this game because the Bears are really terrible.
Yeah.
But New Orleans is going to have a really, really difficult time in the second round because New Orleans is going to play because New Orleans is the 2 seed, right? So they're going to get.
They'll get the next lowest seed. So
well, right.
the
So
number one
they're gonna
seed,
get-
which is
They're going to get. Listen, they're going to get
Probably
probably,
gonna get
the
Tampa
winner
Bay.
of the Rams and Seahawks. No, I think they're going to get the winner of the Rams and Seahawks.
Rams and Seahawks.
Unless, well, I know that's not necessarily true because if the Seahawks win, and the
Or they
Rams-
could
the
get. They
Bucs
could get.
win-
Well, no, Washington's a 3 seed, so they won't get Washington.
No, Washington's the
If
4 seed.
Tampa Bay
Washington's a 4
wins,
seed.
and if Tampa Bay wins,
Hold
I'm
on.
pretty sure they get Tampa
Who's this?
because Tampa's a wild card team.
Anybody show me the bracket? Come on.
It doesn't. The bracket. They can't bracket it out because it depends on the seed.
Yeah, it's seeded. It's a round seeding.
then
It's not an
reseeded,
initial seeding.
yeah,
They
it's
go.
reseeded after they get
Here's the thing, right? So in the NFC, you've got Green Bay with the bye, so they're not in the picture here. You've got 2 against 7, right? In
Yeah.
Chicago, New Orleans. Keep in mind, by the way, the 2 seed in normal years has a bye. So New Orleans is already getting shafted because they've got to play in week 1.
Hold on, timeout. They didn't get shafted. This is the rule that they established at the beginning of the season that they're adding another playoff team. So if you win one
when the Browns get beat by 150 points to playing the Steelers because they've got 70%.
They won't because Mike Tomlin's the coach.
Yeah, it's Mike Tomlin's fault.
No, they will. Right. They will, and it's Roger Goodell's fault for not extending the game because the Browns all have COVID. Okay, so the Browns are going to get beat by 137 because of COVID.
10.
If
10
if they're healthy, 137 because of COVID. Let's almost we got to pick that game last. Now listen, here's the deal. New Orleans in the next round is going to get not Tampa Bay.
They'll get Seattle. They'll get Seattle or LA because
they're going to
Packers
get the Rams
will get
if the Rams
Bucks.
win. If the Rams don't win, they get Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Either way, they lose.
Wait, so then who's Green Bay playing?
Green Bay? No. See, Green Bay is the 1 seed. They get the lowest seed. So say if Tampa Bay wins, Tampa Bay goes to Green Bay.
Correct.
Say Seattle wins, Seattle goes to the Saints.
Correct.
Green Bay gets the lowest or the lowest seed or highest.
No,
highest.
You're right. So
Thank you.
So,
you say ship's right all the time. Let me talk stats. Don't take my stats away from me.
I'm not. But listen, Tom Brady's beating the dog shit out of New Orleans in the second round. That's all I'm saying. New Orleans wins this game, but good luck. Good luck, LSU and Saints fans, because it ain't happening very long. So last game of the week. We have the Browns and the Steelers. It's primetime Sunday night, 8:15. I'm going to start this one out, and then I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to pick the game, give your final thoughts of the evening, because, damn it, we're closing in on 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it's 11:20 right here on the East Coast on 4 Laps Down.
Is anybody else tired? Fine.
Ship, hey.
Spending too much energy looking up stats.
Yeah.
I'm young, you know what I mean? I'm younger than you guys.
I'm old. Come on, I'm not even tired. I got kids, I'm bald and overweight.
I do too. I got 2 of them.
Oh, that's cute. You want to have that talk?
Nobody wants to compete with Nathan on kids. Nah.
Listen, Nathan
I got a beat.
He got the publisher's clearinghouse of kids. He gets one each week.
Nathan
got natural kids and he picked up more.
Nathan is the Phillip Rivers of our group.
No, Dominic Roger or Antonio Cromartie.
No, I'm not.
Antonio Cromartie.
Hey, if I'm the Phil Rivers, Joe's Antonio Cromartie, because I played the free agent market. Joe's got all drafted kids. So Joe did. Hey, Joe did it the fun way. Hey, listen, Joe. Listen, Joe's gotten laid at least 6 times in his life. That's all I'm saying.
I love it, baby.
Maybe 7, but at least 6 times. Joe's actually got me beat.
The 7th, he was alone.
That's not how that works.
That doesn't count. No, you got the stranger. You got the stranger.
That's
why he has 6 kids. The 7th time he was all by himself.
All right, last.
I'm so scared. It's all low.
Last game of the week is Pittsburgh versus Cleveland. Jordan, start us off.
Whoa!
Good pick.
Wow.
Good pick, Jordan. All right.
It's Pittsburgh, you sons of bitches.
He flew in. Hey.
That chair does pretty good, man. You see the sturdiness of that chair?
Hey, he flew in like Danny DeVito as the Penguin in Batman Returns and just picked the Steelers out of nowhere.
Wait. Hey, hold on. You said to me, no, wait. I'm going to pick the favorite.
All right. Ryan, who you got?
I'll take Pittsburgh. I mean, look.
Oh, shocker.
Look, Pittsburgh's scout team played Cleveland to within 1 possession last week on the road. Give me Pittsburgh.
Josh?
But it wouldn't shock me if they lost.
So it would be because
it'd
of
be
Mike
Tomlin's fault, right?
So
who else are you gonna blame it on?
Well, I mean that's
what we got to do.
Hey, you're not going to
play. No way all those kids miss all those.
You're not going to blame it on James Conner, who's the most overrated
running
running back in the last 10 years in the NFL.
Hey, he beat cancer.
James Conner did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Hey, so did Roman Reigns, and he still ain't John Cena. Next.
Hey, by the way,
I like his new heel form.
I like Roman Reigns.
So we'll go with that.
Pittsburgh's
Exactly.
number 1 need in the first round of the 2021 draft, running back.
Head of the table.
They are. I agree.
Oh, I love it. Bring it to me, Ryan.
What? There's going to be like a Travis Etienne or somebody fall.
Chuba Hubbard.
Back.
Woo! Chuba at Pittsburgh would make me very upset as a Bengals fan. I'm just saying.
That is going to change. I'm a Kentucky guy, and Benny Snell led the SEC in rushing 2 years.
Benny Snell's solid third down back.
Najee Harris will be good, I think, in Pittsburgh as well.
I think Najee and Etienne come in somewhere late to middle first round, and Pittsburgh would live for years with either one of them.
Travis Etienne's the first running back off the board.
I like Etienne better than I do Harris, but I take either one.
Both of those Ohio State running backs are coming out. If Pittsburgh wants to go,
no one cares about Trevor Siemian. No one cares about
Trevor Sermon.
State does not have
Sermon.
Ohio State does not have a running back coming out this year.
Trevor Sermon's not coming out because he'd be stupid to, and also, by the way, he couldn't hack it at Oklahoma. Sorry, Ohio State is winning with a bunch of has-beens that couldn't hack it at their schools. That's why Ohio State doesn't have
Justin Fields' ribs still hurt, guys.
Yeah,
be nice.
Listen,
because that was not targeting. That was not targeting.
Well,
it absolutely was.
Yes, it was.
No.
He led with the crown of his helmet.
I'm out.
He led with
Daniel Ship.
No.
Daniel Ship. I just and I don't know, and don't take this wrong, please. Did you ever play football in your life?
I did.
Okay. What position did you play?
Defensive end.
Okay. So let me ask you a question.
Hold on. No, you didn't. You're scrawny.
Well, you're the shortest one, but you are from the Carolinas.
Let him talk.
They only have skill positions coming out in the Carolinas.
6'1", 220. I'm not that small.
I get that. Were you that big in high school? No, you weren't.
Look,
so anyway, just say no. It's okay. Let's finish the conversation. Let me ask you this, and I as a safety and a defensive back that made a living on full-on speed, stopping the run, and I lowered my helmet every single time I could, having no idea of the risk I was taking.
Chris, you're 5'3", so it's not going to lowering your helmet if it's already lower.
Let me finish. Okay, that was it. That I lowered my helmet without the understanding the risk, but I knew I was lowering my helmet to inflict pain, and that's exactly what that kid did last weekend.
Well, I agree, but I don't think it was illegal.
I'm not saying that it didn't happen so fast, but his athletic integrity of how he has to be to stay within the rules now was absolutely a flag. When you hit top of the crown and your head goes down,
let's get a little nuanced here.
That is the line that officials use. Face mask hit, no flag. Crown of the helmet and your face goes down and you're the defensive guy, that's targeting.
Look,
the officials have to make a line of how they make that call, and by that line that they use, that was an absolute penalty, and I hate Ohio State.
Look, here's the deal. And by the rule, by the way the rule is written, it was targeting. It's a bad rule.
Yes, sir.
It's a bad rule. But it absolutely was a flag in the old school way. This guy, like Ship, played defensive end at a high level program. What James Skalski should have been flagged for is what's called spearing.
Correct.
I'll give you that.
Correct.
Okay.
As an old school penalty of hitting with the top of your headgear.
I will give you that.
What it should not have been was targeting. Targeting is a rule that should be restricted only to intent to injure, not hurt, injure at the head.
Correct.
Every defensive player hits with the intent to hurt the other guy.
If you don't start.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the primary.
I'm with
goal
you. That's why I love defense way more than offense. The
primary goal of defense is to make the other guy reconsider life choices.
Correct.
Two goals.
You stole
hurt you or
my
separate
thunder.
You from the ball.
You stole my thunder, Ryan, in the sense that when we were watching the game and he lowered his head and hit him, and all of a sudden the game kind of stopped. I looked at Jordan and my dad and said, they're going to call targeting on that because
he lowered
his head.
Personal foul.
I agree that
yards,
I agree the spearing call. I agree with that. But the NCAA and the NFL are scared to death of the Ryan Shazier incident where you lower your head. And so many people think, oh, they're just trying to protect the offensive player.
Spearing, but it wasn't targeting.
Hey, but you know what, Ryan? You know what though? Ryan Shazier can walk, so screw you, NFL.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Ryan, look,
he can do a lot more than walk. He's doing backflips.
Listen, by a miracle.
Where are we in this feed? Because on Super Bowl Sunday, we're doing the hot takes, and Nathan just made it.
Look, Ryan Shazier, Eric LeGrand, all these guys have gotten paralyzed by lowering their head and hitting guys with the top of their head. It is their own damn fault.
Correct.
But yes, but no.
But now
it is their own fault. You are taught from the time you are 6 years old. You are taught to hit with your forehead, not with your top.
But when I was 6 years old, those guys didn't weigh 215 and run a 4.2.
It doesn't matter.
I'm just saying.
Listen, it's a rule to protect the defender just as much as it is to protect the offensive player.
The reason we had spearing.
I understand, but a 15-yard penalty isn't going to have the same effect as you're gonna get charged with a targeting call. You're out of the game. That guy got ejected from the game, and now he has to sit in the mirror and look at himself and say, "Oh, I lowered my head." And
you think you learned a lesson, Josh? You got ejected last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He did the same thing.
Hey, you know what?
You haven't learned.
The intent.
If you can't learn.
At 11, I got a spearing call for sacking a quarterback on a quarter.
And he'll still get drafted next year. He'll be a second.
And it is my greatest pee-wee.
He won't get drafted. He's not fast enough or big enough to play in the NFL. James Scalzi is dumb as a bag of hammers who played at Clemson. Look, he got hit. Listen, he hit the top of his helmet. He should have.
By the rule,
foul, but it should not have been targeting. Targeting is written wrong.
So you have an issue with the targeting
call
he's made it clear. He just wanted it to be sparing.
Time out.
I have an issue with the rule.
Time out. I love this debate.
Correct.
I love this debate, but we're too late in the show for it.
Oh, come on.
I've got
till 2 a.m.
Make the picks and we can stay on here and argue.
Hey, listen.
I'm so glad I started this argument. This was fun.
Listen. You guys can whip him. You guys can whip him out in sword fight.
It's Mike Tomlin's fault.
All you want.
Damn Mike Tomlin.
But we gotta shut this bitch down because we're 6 minutes away from 3 hours. So I've got Jordan and Ryan from Pittsburgh. Josh, who do you take?
It's too late to slap cheeks anyway, Nathan. Come on.
Ryan, we're staying on.
We're staying.
I would love to pick Cleveland in this. I would just love to because we've been shitting on Mike Tomlin all night. We've been, shitting all over Mike Tomlin. Cleveland finally makes the playoffs, but unfortunately, Cleveland fans, I don't think it's long last. I think Pittsburgh wins this game. Last week showed a lot. Pittsburgh was playing backups. They weren't playing their starters, and they barely lost that game.
Yeah.
Barely lost that game to Cleveland. Mind you, Cleveland was still kind of riddled with COVID, but I can't bet.
Josh, I'll throw you this though. If Cleveland wasn't having their COVID issues,
I may take Cleveland.
Me too. I might too.
Shep,
no bullshit. Because the way
when I pick, I'll give you my reasons on the.
Because of Mike Tomlin.
Shep, what do you got?
No, it's
I got some fun ones for y'all here on this one. So. The Browns' last road win in Pittsburgh was in Week 5 of what year?
2002.
Who said 2? 2002? Somebody said?
Yeah.
Butch Davis was head coach.
Silver Thunder season.
Couch was the freaking quarterback.
Hang on. It was 2003.
Oh.
Baker Mayfield was 8 years old, by the way.
I think Tim Couch was the quarterback on that team.
Baker Mayfield was still trying to figure out if he was gay or not back then.
All right, here we go. Here's a very tough one for you. You ready? The Browns have not won a playoff game since 1994, which is the longest active streak. Who was the head coach and who was the defensive coordinator?
Romeo Crennel.
Okay,
No.
it is not Bill Belichick.
It was Nick Saban as the defensive coordinator.
That is correct.
Was it Belichick as the head coach?
Yes, sir.
Belichick was the head coach.
Was Saban?
Was the
I thought that was the year before they came in and gave up. My dad and my grandfather are both Browns fans, so I have a pretty good knowledge of their history.
Clearly not that good.
Well, I knew that both of them were together.
Listen, I know a lot about Nick Saban.
But I actually thought the year that he brought that stat up, I thought that was the year before they were together.
No.
All right, so I got
good playoff run was under Butch Davis in 2003. They went to Pittsburgh. They got a big lead, and then Pittsburgh played Renegade by 6. They came back, and that's what started the Renegade tradition at Heinz Field.
Where's Hubie when we need him? He would play that song right now.
Hubie smartly tagged out very early. Go ahead.
Dude, he's very smart.
He saw the writing on the wall. So what
he did. He did.
Tonight.
Hey, 3 more real quick. Cleveland is the 3rd team in the Super Bowl era to break a playoff drought of over 15 seasons. Each of the previous 2 teams lost in the first round. And Baker Mayfield still has a streak right now. He has 127 passes without an interception. Longest active among quarterbacks in the playoffs.
That'll probably end this week. Joe Hayden.
The big thing for me that I do like, and I will say that I like about Pittsburgh, is they actually have an offensive line that is blocking for Ben right now because they've only allowed 14 sacks this season compared to how many times we used to talk about.
Yeah, that's skewed a little bit, though, Chef. That's
because it couldn't be good coaching in Pittsburgh.
No,
it couldn't be the coaching. The fewest allowed in a single season on 650 passing attempts in the Super Bowl era. They've only allowed 14 sacks.
Pittsburgh has been focused on Ben getting rid of the ball in like 0.02 seconds.
No, it's because your run game is in the garbage.
That's because
they run the whole other.
Ben became more experienced with jerking his gherkin, he became known as Quick Draw Ben, with the ability to come in 2.8 seconds every time.
He shaved his beard. That's what it was. He shaved his beard when he was on his private jet. By the way, I'm taking Cleveland just for the hell of it. Screw Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin.
Love you.
See, that was my thought on Chicago, and y'all reamed my asshole for it.
You get Mitchell Trubisky.
Around it there, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan, real quick.
Like a man.
Hang on, Jordan. Joshua picked Chicago. The stipulation, though, is starting next year, Mitchell Trubisky is y'all's quarterback. That is the stipulation.
I heard you talking some bull crap. And look, Ship, all I'm going to say is you better worry about Dak Prescott actually wanting to play for you after you disrespected him.
We will be just fine.
All right, basement team.
He is going to be just fine.
Chris Lane,
you want me to give it to you and give you the final?
Yeah. Well, we got Joe after you, but go ahead, Chris.
Well, go ahead now. Let Joe go because I got some finals that I'm going to throw.
All right, Joe.
Player props,
quarterback,
and that I want to make sure some people don't miss out on what I think is some free money.
Don't miss out. It's 11:30 at night. I don't know if anybody's still tagging along for 3.5 hours.
Nobody's listening at this point.
Daniel, nobody cares about you where you don't have casinos close that you can bet.
Go ahead. Don't you have another bottle of Fireball? Go ahead, bud.
No, but I'll finish this one.
Yeah, go ahead, bud.
Shasta, we need more Fireball.
Meatloaf! Anita!
He's got the ping pong eyes going on right now.
Yeah. Next, Joe.
I got bottles. I got bottles, plural.
I'm not going to run out of booze ever.
You're not going to have to get together, Chris.
I'm coming to Florida.
Dude, come to Pittsburgh. You swim in the pool. You and Nathan will drink some
Joe.
I definitely won't be there.
Hey, lovebirds. Lovebirds.
Yeah. What?
Joe's picking.
Oh, my Joe.
Jesus, set up your mandate later.
Get a room, you homos.
Look at Daniel trying to be the boss.
He is the boss. He's got a show coming up in 2 weeks. You don't
haven't measured my chest this week.
Listen, Joe is trying to be a respectable Republican guy here.
Who said he's Republican?
Whatever. He's
nonpartisan.
He can't be a Democrat.
That's true. You got elected in Lebanon. Go ahead, Joe.
Anyway.
All right. A couple of final thoughts here. Chris is really missing that goat farm, isn't he?
He's on the horse farm. You guys are the joke for horse.
Are you trying to refer to the size of my Johnson at the horse?
No, I think
no.
It ain't the size of the ring.
It's been said
horse. Oh no.
Horse.
Oh no.
I've heard Chris Land's nickname is the Soil Cheese Wheel.
You started it. Sorry, I tried.
Some people walk up to put it in. Some people put it in and walk up. I'm just saying.
No, I tried. I tried.
Check.
Thank you. Let Joe talk. I'm
gonna leave.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
This is not going to go well for your presidential campaign, brother. I tell you.
Oh, I'm not going there.
Hey, do you remember doing a podcast back in the day when?
Hey, with former Secretary of Defense Nathan Nickel as the host.
You're sure you really want to put that guy in office? Yes, we are.
We love you, Joe, because you're the smartest guy in the room and talk the least.
He's my kind of people. We dick jokes. We're good.
And then Ship, love the flag back there, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, bud.
Thin blue line, brother. Nice job.
I think all those I think all the U.S. flags need to be turned upside down for a little bit, though.
Dude, you ain't kidding.
It's a rough time.
Yeah.
In distress.
Yes, sir.
I hope we can all find a
2 years, brother.
A way to get stuff figured out and get this country rolling. But anyway, as far as this pick goes, I'd rather go out and pick up my neighbor's dog poop than have to pick a winner.
I feel you.
Of a Pittsburgh and Cleveland game.
I feel you. I do.
I hope the power gets cut off and they can't even play that sucker because I don't care to see any of them win.
Maybe there'll be a bus crash with the team buses and
we don't want people to die unless it's been.
And then everybody goes into concussion protocol.
Jesus,
Chris Land is wanting Leo Marshall to happen.
Look,
he wants Final Destination going on here, dude.
Listen, I got a good friend of mine who's both a Raider fan and a Georgia fan. He's one of my best friends in the world.
And he's less stupid than Chris Land.
Listen, I said, Russ, hey, Florida State this weekend, who you got? And he goes, Meteorite. Swear to God.
Hey,
Florida State wins that basketball game. They're great.
Hey, SMOD 2020, the sweet meteor of death. Anyway, go ahead, Joe.
Come on, Joe. I'm sorry. We keep interrupting you.
Yeah, Chris.
So
shut up, Daniel.
So last week, Cleveland, they're a one-hit wonder. I'm sticking to that. And Pittsburgh is still the big brother there, and they're just going to smack them.
Beat the
last week.
Them,
Last week, I mean, Baker Mayfield. You know what I hate about Baker Mayfield is that season when Hugh Jackson. I think it was 2 years ago when Hugh Jackson. They were so terrible that they fired Hugh, and he came back to Cincinnati, and Baker Mayfield threw a touchdown pass
and showed him up
and came over and handed the ball to him. And I just thought, man, I wasn't thinking Twisted Tea back then, but somebody needs to give it to him.
Brother, I'll give you one. I get you. That's not the first time he was that guy either.
Who, Baker?
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Look,
hey, Baker's.
Hold on. Let's let Joe finish because we haven't interrupted him all night.
Listen, Baker's kind of that guy. He's Phillip Rivers.
A giant chode. Yeah, go ahead. He is.
Go ahead, Joe. Let's let Joe finish because we are the rudest people ever for him.
Yeah, especially Chris Land.
It's the rivalry's born, Chris and Daniel Ship.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
So
he's a Cowboy fan. There's no rivalry. Anyway,
you're going down to NASCAR. Who cares?
I'm also sticking to that these old guys, these goats, they're just going to come in and slap all these young guys around in the playoffs, and you're going to see a lot of these your Aaron Rodgers, your Big Bens, your Drew Breeses, your Tom Brady's, all those guys, they're still out there. They still got something to prove.
Yeah.
And I just can't part with that. So I'm taking Pittsburgh here.
I know that hurts.
Oh, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. Oh.
I know. Hey, listen, Joe, I feel you, brother. I feel you. I got you. It's okay. It's all right.
Hey, I mean, Pittsburgh has always been my in our division. They've always been my Cincinnati isn't going anywhere.
It's team you
Cincinnati
hate.
isn't going.
I get it.
No, I hate them. I hate them.
I get
it. They've been really good, and they've been my fallback team. So once Cincinnati's out, then I'll take Pittsburgh for a little bit, until it withers down to basically me remembering that I can't wait till somebody beats Pittsburgh. So.
Anybody else, right? Yeah. No, my two favorite teams are, Florida and anybody who played Florida State. I totally get it. Yeah.
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 So
I'm glad you hate them that bad. That means we matter
here because
Hey,
Chris,
your Florida
way
State
too
tattoo
strong.
that you got in the penitentiary, it sucks. Just so you know.
I know, but at least you can't say you. At least you can't say that I was like a fan when Jameis Winston got there and won the Heisman. And I am a fan.
Hey,
before they won.
All that tells me is that your cellmate that was twice your size liked Florida State. That's all.
What that tells you is that I didn't jump on any bandwagon. I got a tattoo before they.
How far do you go back? How far do you go back? Tell me.
Hold on. He got a tattoo because
hold up. No. Tell me how far do you go back?
I go back to let me see. I was 85. 84, 85 time. I was in middle school.
What conference was Florida State playing in 1985?
It was not the ACC.
No,
they went from the.
No.
I'm drawing a blank, but it was before they joined the ACC.
Hey, hold up! No! Hold up! Let Chris.
So while your cellmate gave you that tattoo and told you to play sit and spin, he didn't tell you what conference Florida State was in.
Come on now.
I'm going to tell you that I'm drawing a blank.
Tell me you're a fan. You got to tell me. Come on.
I don't know it off the top of my head.
Conference USA, and before that, it was the Metro Conference.
Were they in the Metro with UAB and Louisville?
Way back in the day.
Yeah, like in early 80s, they were in the Metro.
Back when 20% of their football team was still female.
No, come on, Nathan.
No. But yes, I did not realize that they were in the. I did not realize the
Conference
Metro.
USA first. And so it's ACC Conference USA Metro.
And then the Metro. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's great.
Back in the day.
So
I go back in my fandom for Florida all the way back to pre-Kerwin Bell.
I had you know what? My mother bought me when I was in the 8th grade. Bought me a Florida Gator Kerwin Bell jersey. That I refused
Kerwin
to
Bell,
wear.
pre-Ricky Nattiel days. Right.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. Anyway, so we got other people that Ryan just stay on when he cuts this off.
So guys, listen real quick. I appreciate everybody.
Are you reading this now?
What's that?
Anyway, let me finish. I'm taking Pittsburgh.
I heard you. You're taking Pittsburgh. I got you.
Let me give you guys some. If you're gonna get some bets in tomorrow, I'm gonna give you some what I think are some easy winners. Okay, McKissick is going to over it because I feel like they're going to be playing from behind, and so they will be throwing out of the backfield, which is a Washington staple. Take McKissick and yardage and catches. Easy winners, almost like guaranteed blocks on your bingo card. Jonathan Taylor is going to go over. I believe he's around 70 yards is what I looked at around 2:00 today. He's going to go over in rushing yards. Going to the Buffalo game, Zach Moss is going to go under in receiving yards and catches. And Josh Allen, I know nobody wants to bet this, but the value is so good. He's going to be under 320 yards passing. Trey Burton, he is going to get 2 catches. His over and under for catches is 1.5. He will get 2 catches tomorrow because the game script is going to be they're playing from behind. Logan Thomas, game script is Washington playing from behind. Will go over in catches because if the check down before he checks down to McKissick, he looks at Logan Thomas. So go with that. Your dart throw that nobody will have in your DFS lineup, Josh Reynolds, who has led the Rams in receiving catches the last both times this year that they have played Seattle. So he is an easy dart throw that could put you at a minimum salary so you can play every running back and receiver you want, and you only need 4 catches out of him for like 32 yards to pay his value, and you can get the blow up guys. Every single week. I'm going to be on tomorrow before we go live. I'm going to be on tomorrow. I'm excited. They put 6-game slate together, so it's going to be a 2-day tournament for DFS. So get in. Again, I appreciate everybody that joins in with us and watches. I just gave you a few winners. Last week, I hope everybody jumped on that Cam Newton over on every single thing you could bet and put him in your DFS lineup because you got to play Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry if you played Cam Newton at quarterback, and then you probably should have came in the top 50% of any DFS lineup you could get. I love y'all. Thank you. It's been a fun night, and peace out.
Thanks, Chris. Guys, I appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. It's been fun. It's been real. We went a lot longer than we thought we were going to, but that's always the case, man. It's how it happens. We love all y'all. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun. We got wildcard playoffs this weekend. 6 games. Don't be afraid to come in next week and pick winners. We're going to be picking all next week's games too. One chip challenge coming in a couple weeks. I'm going to be the one eating it, and I'm probably going to cry. You're not going to want to miss it. One chip challenge is just, man, it's going to be awful. That being said, don't forget, a couple weeks, we got NASCAR coming live right here on 4 Laps Down. NASCAR's our first love. And if you want a 4 Laps Down shirt, you can see it hanging behind me. I'm trying to duck and point. It's hanging behind me. 4 Laps Down shirts, short sleeve, long sleeve, camo hoodies. Let me know what you want. We've got it for you. And we'll be back next week. Peace, love, and Busch Lights.